Hello. Hi. Happy Friday. Welcome to Cold Open. I am eating my lunch. Shroomy, oh hello. You've appeared from a specific location. Hello. Happy Friday, happy Women's Day to all the ladies out there. Also, what else is today? Happy eat lunch time, maybe also? It's 2 p.m., I know this, but it's still lunch enough time for me. Beans and tofu today? Yeah, do you want to hear about my lunch? I was really excited to eat this one. I was really excited to try it. Mukbang content? Yeah, a little bit. The good news of this sponsorship is that it makes me accountable and makes me actually eat meals. Me, you know, the Squiiji, the one that you have before you. That's myself on head. Boy, am I bad at doing things other than eating like 34 fish crackers for lunch. I'm a snacker. I eat like a bird, as they say. Yes, I am cooking. 5-star Michelin. I don't remember how those lyrics go. That's definitely a Stray Kids song, but I don't know it all the way. Thank you for fish crackers. Don't worry, the fish crackers are nearby if we need them, but I am doing this thing called eating a meal, which is good for me. That's good for my health. You should all try that. Try eating lunch. It does make you feel a lot better if you're not feeling so great in the day. Often I do this thing where I'm like, why am I so sleepy? Why am I not with it? Why am I not locked in working on the thing I'm supposed to be doing? It's because I haven't eaten a meal in like 4 hours or 7 hours. We all have locked-in syndrome, I feel like. I think we need to lock out a little bit more and make sure we take care of ourselves and eat and stretch and do all those like, correct things. And I'm here to tell you that I was 3 minutes late for going live because it only took me 3 minutes to get this meal prepared. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? The reason I don't eat half the time for lunch is because I'm like, it takes too long. Meal prep takes me so long. We have the smallest kitchen known to mankind. I don't know if we've described just how small my kitchen is. Abysmal, so bad. It's so unbelievably tiny that to do meal prep, we have to do the meal prep on top of the stove. So we have to do all of the prep of cutting everything before we can even turn the stove on. We don't have counters. So if I'm trying to make a sandwich, I'm making the sandwich on top of the stove. And that's not a great way of living life, I'll tell you that much. So I usually am like dodging meals and eating protein bars. But, thanks to the kindness of Factor for sponsoring me, I'm eating like a king this week. This has been fantastic. This is my 4th meal I've had from them. They're phenomenal. Me, vegetarian, I don't know, other vegetarians out there, meeting the protein goal, horrible. I am always so narrowly meeting my protein goals. I do a terrible job of it half the time. Usually I'm supplementing with like protein beverages. This thing that we have right here, this has 36 grams of protein in it. Can you believe that? It's a tofu, wait, let me read what it actually is called. Smoky tofu and baked beans with roasted corn and chili cheddar mac. This has 36 grams of protein in it. I am health maxing. Yeah, that is high, right? Thank you, Factor, for helping me health max. And, you know, stress-free. I literally just popped it in the microwave while I was getting my going live things going. Easy. It was done the moment I needed it to be. I sat down. The only reason I was late is I had to rip all my things off my desk. But this is fantastic. I love this. So if you would also like some protein, there's also like other things if you're not vegetarian. They've got keto options, like smart options and stuff like that. You can join me, yeah, you can be buff EG with all the protein you want. And they're all really good. Jubby last night had, what was it? Was it Louisiana shrimp one? Jubby had one, there was a salmon one that Jubby had that was fantastic. It smelled so good, the glaze was really yummy. It was great. It was really nice. Yeah. Had a delicious soup of kale, potatoes, and sausage for lunch. That also sounds good. You are living large. Usually I can eat like leftovers for lunch if I have enough leftovers, but here's the thing. This is still really big for an EG size portion. Like see the fork size compared to this? This is a huge portion for EG. This is like a lunch and a dinner, which is how I've been eating them. Jubby is like, this is like just about barely enough for Jubby to eat a meal. Jubby eats probably about double the amount I do because I am small and Jubby's like a whole foot or so taller than me. But these have been pretty filling. Jubby's been enjoying them too. And so far, it worked so well. Are you cooking? No, I did not cook. That's the whole point. Hi, Web. How are you? Whole point was I didn't have to cook. I used a microwave, and it went very well. Also, Sweet Kitsy, thank you for following. I didn't even take roll. Let me take a bite of my food while I eat, and we will see who else here. Tofu. It's good. The power of factor. Yes, the power of factor is I'm eating well and on time and also enjoying it, which is very nice. If microwave back, I will. Don't worry, I will. Let me try the mac and cheese. There's just this cool mac and cheese here too that I haven't tried. Oh, it's smoky. It's good. Whoa. Dang. I'm not a very big mac and cheese fan, but I kind of like that there's like a little bit of spiciness in it. Makes it a little more interesting for me. Man. Don't worry, I'll wave back to the Michael. It's very yummy. Corn can even replace bread. I know some people are like, do aim to have like a low carb diet, right? Or is that keto where they try and cut out like grains and that kind of stuff? I don't quite remember how that works. But like, honestly, this week I've also been at an all-time low for eating like bread type things. Oh, keto's no sugar, okay. My parents were both on a keto diet at some point before they learned that was bad. Yeah, ketosis. I am not somebody who subscribes to a dieting culture, so I don't tend to know what most of it is. It scares me, and it is usually putting your body into a crisis. But they do have options for it, and this is like the least amount of carbs I think I've eaten in a week. There's a little bit of pasta in here, but the other meals they had like cauliflower rice and stuff, so it wasn't like, it was a vegetable in disguise. Crazy. Wild. Very sneaky. What you eat and arrive late? I have, let me read it again. I know what it is, but I'm gonna read the direct quote, which is smoky tofu and baked beans with roasted corn and chili cheddar mac. Yeah, I also love cauliflower rice. Cauliflower rice is really good. It has a nice texture. I can be a big texture person sometimes, and cauliflower rice can be very good texture sometimes. Hang on, let me take roll now that I've had a couple minutes for people to roll in here. Oh, never mind, no roll yet. We're being raided. Shroommates, rotate at them. It's not a phase. I'm sure it isn't. Hi, Gawky. I'm Squiiji, freelance artist fungi, also an art educator, also enjoying lunch right now. Eventually we'll be doing some digital painting, but we're enjoying some lunch right now. Very, very nice, yummy lunch via Factor. Very kind of them. Get sniffed raiders? Oh, okay, we've got some rebels in the chat who are sniffing your viewers instead. How was your stream, Gawky? How was it? Hope you had a good time. What were you up to? How did Snow Mikus go? Snow Mikus went quite well. Snow Mikus were fantastic. I actually finished my front view of my Snow Miku. I am designing Snow Mikus. And the first one, the front view is done. Cheese Tart Miku is halfway finished for submission. I'll probably finish her tonight and tomorrow morning. I am still trying my best to figure out my crepe Miku. Snow Miku? Gawky, are you a Snow Miku fan? Are you a Sneaku fan? Are you a Sneaku fan? We love Snow Miku in this house. We did a collab with Yam Allbat last night where we were critiquing each other's Snow Miku designs. It was nice. Lurk and go make food? Yes. Everyone get hungry. Look at this bowl of delicious food before you and get hungry. Go eat meals, take care of yourself. If you need to do things like eating or drinking, start maybe meeting, take care of yourself. Do you want to stick around and hang out? I appreciate it. But you should eat, I say, as I do my best to also eat. Is this Toe playing in the background? This is Noiseless World. The song is called Apare. Vincent Crane, thank you for following. Grabbing my own food and lurk also. Enjoy your lurk. Also enjoy your food. Thank you for dropping your fellows off. I'll take good care of them, don't worry. Having cheese savory, so all good. What is cheese savories? Is this a British thing that I am unfamiliar with? Is that like a, I can't say it very loudly because my fish crackers will hear me. Is that like a, are those like the cheese squares? The square cheeses? The cheese. It's checking to make sure my fish crackers didn't hear me. It's okay, fish crackers. Don't worry. I'm not speaking ill of your competitors. Not squares give sec. Okay, I'm intrigued. I'm curious. Miku consume nutrients? I am not consuming Miku for nutrients. When she dies, maybe I will because I'm a mushroom and I will decompose her, but not right now. I can eat beans and mac and cheese right now instead. Leek potato soup? Dang, you guys are making me jealous of your food options too. Not that mine isn't also fantastic, but like, this is like the coolest thing I've eaten in like months. Jubby and I cook very basic meals. We had really good vegetarian chili last week, but usually it's like tuna salad. What else do we cook? I make arugula sandwiches, which is just a sandwich. I feel like not that fancy stuff. I know leek potato soup is probably not the fanciest thing ever, but it's a food I don't get to have, so it's fancy to me. Hi, Ender Dasher. Hello. Do you guys want some? Here, I can feed you a little bit here. I can place my fork right where the chat is located. Don't worry, I can easily access you too, YouTube chat, up in the attic. I can get everyone. If you would like to try some. There you go, Selma. Here, come here, behind me. Ow! Feed the shroomate snack. Here you go, Rex. Handcam also excited for digital painting? Me too. I have some tricks to teach you because I've taught digital painting. Digital painting is one of the courses I have taught at university level. Oh, now I'm T-posing on my meal. No, now I'm part of the meal. No, don't eat me. No. Stabs with fork. Help, help. They're gonna try and eat me. Help. Put me in the bowl. No. I don't taste good with mac and cheese, I promise. No. I promise, I'm too crunchy. Here's some fiber. Do mushrooms have fiber? I don't know if mushrooms have fiber. You'll find I'm not a big nutrition knower. Help! Oh, but I did teach digital painting, so I have some hacks and some learning techniques for you, specifically as it relates to color, and also planning. And also because I need to kill a bunch of birds with one stone, we're gonna work on, potentially, theoretically, my background for spring. Yes, mushrooms do have fiber. Oh, that's great. I learn new things about myself every day. Fiber filled. Don't eat me. I'll have an effect similar to a prune, is what I'm telling you. Mushroom mac and cheese is good. Okay, I do know this. This is true. All right, hello. Teleportation? Can we fix this teleportation? There. Over here, this corner. Oh, roll. 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 Oh, here. Who's here? Let's see. Knife Wife Palace Song, Lamia Arcane, Calico Tux, Rolina, Rex Tau T, Alive to Thrive, Selma Shepherd, Viraku, Eli, Amber, Nilo's best friend. Nilo's best friend, I know you're named after a character, but I keep trying to just call you Nilo, which is just naming you after the character that you're named after. That feels perplexing in my mind. I'm working on something. There's gotta be a solution here. Incinda, hello. YouTube fellas, Cheese Tart, Soul Kingdom, Callie, hello, Game Loser also, hi. Digital drawing sounds interesting. Feel like Black Sheep here's a computer science major. Hey, don't worry, I have also a organic chemistry major. We can all enjoy art and drawing, regardless of what our things are. Sometimes it's just fun to watch and listen to, right? Rotation? What? What are you guys doing? R-O-L-E. R-O-L-E. Not rolling. We can spin. I think we can do, but that's not the same, no. Are you committing crimes against rice? No, I didn't commit any crimes, actually. This is anything but a crime. I would actually call this the opposite of a crime. You can commit a crime and eat me, though, if you so wish. There's only one confirmed way where you can eat me. Only one way it's allowed. And you are allowed to do that, but that's it. Also, Discord to help a few questions. Oh, I draw well enough for work, but making the jump to digital has been rough. Feels almost like starting over in certain things. Oh, it definitely is. I've got some tips for going from traditional to digital, and the main tip is limit yourself. The problem with digital is that you've access to every color on planet Earth, theoretically, and you've access to every brush on planet Earth, theoretically, and every brush size on planet Earth, and none of those. It's too many. It's too many options. Limit yourself. Say, okay, we are not using brush sizes other than brush size 10 and 50 and 20. And we will have, you know, pressure settings. And here's my limited color palette. And here's my limitation on scale. And putting all those limitations on yourself mimics the limitations you have from traditional. It makes it a little bit easier of a conversion. I'm like getting ahead of myself here because these are things we're talking about with digital landscapes too. Yeah. What's my online handle? Nilo is basically my second name. Oh, okay, if you don't mind being called Nilo, then that's fine. I will just call you it. I'm just trying to figure out if it's like if I name like, because isn't that, I mean, I have no idea how nicknaming works these days. If you don't mind it, I will just call you it, and that will just become your name to us. You are assigned Nilo. Bye, Squiiji. Also, hi, Bugs. I see you're here. Hi. I am so sorry. My brain has not figured out what that letter in your name is yet. And my brain wants to call you Ansi, and I feel so bad every time I read it because I wrote it down at one point and then I lost my sticky note about what that letter is. Please remind me how to say your name. I am so sorry. I will rewrite it down on a sticky note and I will pin it somewhere where maybe I won't lose it this time. Thank you for the tip for transitioning traditional to digital a better way than I did before. Good luck! I'm glad if I can help. It's all about trying to make it similar to what you already know. Also, okay, I am writing this down. I am so sorry. A-L-S-U. Bam. It's going right. You can't see where I'm sticking it, but you can probably see the shadow of my arm. Got it. But you guys didn't know that. I have a bunch of sticky notes that are on. I've got like a riser for my desk that's like that direction, and it has about 30 sticky notes on it. Half of them are things that I should remember about things in my life, and half of them are things I should remember about all of you, like how to pronounce your names and things like that, in true teacher fashion. I take a lot of notes, but as a result, sometimes they fall and they get lost in my room, and I can't find them, and then they get lost forever. Call me Alice if it'll make it easier. Nah. If your name's Alsu, I will call you Alsu, as long as I'm not goofing up how to pronounce it. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. Is cultist beside my name? No. Selma, you remind me of that every day, so I wouldn't need a reminder to remind myself of it. And we don't recognize that here either, so no. Tofu. Billion brushes on digital and still no good sketching brushes on Procreate. I might flag Billy down. Because Billy uses Procreate almost exclusively, and Billy might have some good sketching brushes for you, because Billy does all his work in Procreate. I have never touched an iPad for drawing purposes in my life. I've never owned an iPad. I think I've barely even touched an iPad, period, unfortunately. This stuff was really good. And I fixed my eyes yesterday. I can see without glasses again. Congrats! Did they do the little funny little laser thing in your eyes? Have you been subjected to lasers? I've always been a little bit scared of that, but my granddad had that done and realized that because of his cataracts, he wasn't able to see the color blue for like 30 years and didn't realize he himself had blue eyes. He, I guess, forgot? Question mark? Like, he has really like gray blue eyes. He thought he had brown eyes for so long, and I thought I was crazy as a kid because I would, you know, we're learning colors in school, and I drew a picture of my granddad, and I drew him with blue eyes, and then he saw the picture of it, and he saw the picture of it and was like, that's not what color my eyes are. I was like, yes, it is. Granted, it was really bright blue, so maybe you could still see it, but then he finally learned. At the ripe old age of like 80, he found out that he does in fact have blue eyes. I don't know how you forget that. I'm not gonna forget what color my eyes are if I get older and lose my color vision. But congrats on getting your eyeballs solved. That's a good deal. That's good news. What a little Mac. Also, I feel like we didn't yap about any like things going on this week. I didn't do any housekeeping at all this week. While I was away, mostly because I guess collab on Thursday. But where was my brain going with this? There was a point. Oh. Rubric-chan designs due next Friday. There's a lot of them. We're gonna go through them on stream next Friday. There's a lot of them, and some of them are really cool. And somebody suggested on Monday the idea of like switching out between them on my rubric, like when we do our rubric like read through, look over, switching between all the different designs people have made, and I kind of like that. We can have all of our permutations of Rubric-chan and say hello to them. That way they get a little bit of extra, like, you know, chance for stardom. They can stand in the spotlight for a minute while I have that on the screen for the 15 minutes it takes me to actually get through reading the rubric. Like, I feel like that would be a fun little thing. And I am pestering a couple of people who are just like friends of mine to read my rubric thing, because while they are not voice actors, they have voices that aren't mine and can do some very funny, silly voices. So we may, the things we talked about on Monday with Rubric-chan, may come true, maybe some way, somehow. Yeah. Good ideas rattling the brain. Good ideas rattling in the brain, but none of them were my ideas. They were all ideas I think you guys came up with while I was showing mine off on stream. So thank you all for good ideas. The Shroom hive mind is strong. We are stronger together for sure. Squiiji, I graduated with my bachelor's in illustration. 60 days, congrats! Good luck! Thesis midterm review is also this week. Oh boy, good luck times 2. You got this. Fear not. You got this. I know how scary that is after having done my master's. We also had to do thesis when I was in my BFA program, which was once again printmaking for me. And if you'd failed your thesis for BFA, you weren't allowed to be a BFA anymore. You had to drop down to being a BA. You lost your F. Isn't that crazy? So everybody stressed the hell out for it. It was so stressful for everyone. But it was one of those things where, like, if you were not failing your classes, like, you should have already known you were gonna pass. Like, I don't know why I, like, had in my mind, I was like, I am failing out of my program over this, despite being a straight A student. And I did pass. Guess what my BFA was on? Guess what my BFA topic was for my work? Bet you can't guess what it was. I bet knowing the things you know about Squiiji, you cannot guess what it was. I say, go ahead, try and guess. Well, yes, printing, it was printmaking. That was the, medium. But, yeah. Yeah, Amber did get it. Immediately. We didn't even guess that, we didn't even get that many guesses in because Amber immediately guessed it. It was mushrooms. Go figure, who would have ever guessed that me, little old me, E.G., would have made their thesis for their VFA on printmaking. Their printmaking thesis on mushrooms. That's almost like I like them. But that was about, like, form and function of them. I really didn't have any deeper content to it, which I did get yelled at a good bit for. I figured it out eventually. Here's the thing, fine arts, they want you to have deep concept. Even if you're just telling them it's a deep concept, just to get them off your back. Which, listen, I understand the point of having concept and things. I like conceptual work. But I was also, like, 20 and just wanted to draw fun things and make cool prints. I'm a technique person. I am not a content person. I am a super technique person. So I didn't really care what my content was. I just wanted to have as technically perfect of prints as I could, because I like being in, like, the production end of stuff like that. My aspirations for fine art are not to be the fine artist who sells in galleries. My aspiration is make prints for other people to sell, or restore the works that have been destroyed. Yeah. It's like if you're drinking hot chocolate too, just e.g. lore. Well, oh, hang on, I'm having a little wire interference. Guess what I'm drinking? Guess what I have here is my beverage. Can you? It's winter. It's winter. I refuse to drink anything that's not hot chocolate or hot tea at all. Ever. It's not eggnog, no. It has to be hot chocolate. It's March. It's still winter to me. It's not warm out yet. It's not spring. Spring hasn't sprung until after I draw my spring background and turn off my snow version of me. Look, I'm still snowy themed. It's not spring yet. Look, I'm dressed for skiing and snowboarding. It can't be spring yet. That can't work. It snowed 2 days ago in the frozen tundra of the north where Billy lives that I used to live in, therefore it's still winter. You can't convince me otherwise. It's lava. What, my hot chocolate? The floor may be lava, but thankfully I am levitating in a chair right now, so I'm safe, don't worry. Sampo's so silly. Snooky Pookie Wookie, why? Sure? Question mark? Why Sampo right now? Wait, this reminds me of something I have to very briefly discuss. Let me hang on, I gotta down this. I'm so bad at actually eating, I just wanna yap. Girl, do you live in Minnesota because why are you still wearing a snow outfit? No! I live on the east coast of the United States, near the metropolitan. It's not that cold. It's in like the 40s here right now. So it's definitely not spring, but it's not winter. We're getting there slowly. 64 freedom units out? Dang, I wish it was 64 freedom units outside. It's definitely not. Law of Continuity Seasons Edition. Seasons change one after another. How do those lyrics go? The Tokyo Ghoul ending song says something like that. It goes, seasons change one after another. It's the Azamarashi one. but I can't think of what the title of the song is. Why do I know the musician but not the title? Difficult. Well, isn't spring on my side of the world? Whole 18 degrees Celsius. Yeah. 39 degrees and windy. Oh man, it's windy. Joby gets driven nuts because I say windy. It was really windy earlier this week. 95 freedom units? Lance, are you cooking alive? Lance, are they making hot pot using you? Like, you creating infinite heat death as your galaxy type head, cooking things in your part of the galaxy? What is happening? That's so much. Do a cookie run character design tier list in 2025. My life is yours. Hey, Cyberspook, your life is already mine, but your life will also be mine, because that is definitely in the plans for this year. We have a couple things to do first, but we will get there, yes. Spring or fall spring, the one that tricks your plants and hits them with frost. I refuse to put my plants outside until we have not gotten frost for, I think, 3 weeks. I think that's usually when I'm like, all right, safety time for plant, go ahead. Go ahead, be outdoors. I've even lost plants from sitting in the windowsill where they howish because it's just not the warmth, the frigid, horrible cold coming in the window. Just killed all my succulents when I lived in the tundra. I say tundra. I don't think I actually lived somewhere that qualified as tundra. I lived on a horrible plateau where we got like 4 or 5 feet of snow bare minimum every year. Like you'd get like 2 feet of snow in one storm. So don't put your succulents in the window when you live somewhere that gets feet and feet and feet of snow in the winter. That's a little EG hack. Bet you didn't know that. Eyeglasses, thank you for following. It's negative 20 in the winter and 20 in the spring. There's at least one moment where it was 0. Yeah! I mean, in freedom units where I was previously, it would get down to like negative. Yeah, it would hit about negative 20 sometimes. That's the only time school would ever get canceled when I taught, was if it got so cold that people were just like, nah, it's not safe to go outdoors. Because like cars don't really want to start when it's negative 20 anyway, and like, it'd be like windy. The wind chill would be like negative 40 or something. No, I'm good. I like living where I live now because it didn't do that. This winter was below freezing, but like barely in the teens. It was so nice. So nice. I'm living large now. Wait a minute. Why is my weather app saying it's gonna snow next week? Ha ha ha! As I told you, it's not spring yet. The groundhog, I believe, did see his shadow, didn't he? Didn't the groundhog see his shadow? Is that a thing that's relevant to anyone? People who aren't from the US, do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Oh, hi, Suru! How are you, Suru? Welcome in. Huh? Groundhog? Do we not know the groundhog? I do, okay. The groundhog. Groundhog's Day? The Groundhog's Day, the topic of the hit movie by the same name. It is the day when the groundhog, I don't remember what his name is. He has a name though. Joby's actually met the groundhog's cousin, which is a strange thing to say. The groundhog, he climbs out of his hole and looks, which isn't even really a hole, it's like a little gate. Oh yeah, Punxsutawney Phil is his name. What the heck kind of name is Punxsutawney Phil? Yeah, that's such a strange name for a groundhog. But yeah, he comes out of his hole, which I think is actually really a funny little door and a fake tree thing. There's like all this fanfare about it. Oh, it's the town. Oh, okay. And if he sees his shadow and he goes running and is scared and hides back in his hole, then that means winter's gonna be another several weeks longer. If not, it's gonna be less weeks. I hear this is more regionally relevant in certain parts of the US. And I hear some parts do not care at all about it. And then it's not a thing that occurs in other countries. I hear this is a US thing, maybe even like an East Coast thing. Yeah, 5.5 to 6 weeks. Yeah, what is Groundhog Day? Is that only like an East Coast US thing? Is that only an East Coast thing? It might be. Correct me if I'm wrong. But maybe it's just more important to East Coast people, because I'm gonna make a guess. Punxsutawney is on the East Coast, I think. But I don't know. Eating lunch, then locking TF in. Hell yeah, we're gonna lock in after I also eat lunch. I gotta lock in to finish the lunch, though. Everywhere thing, Northwest Coast, Canada, we do it. Oh, you do it in Canada! Whoops, that's my bowl. Wait, hang on. It sounds like making a toast. A little bit of bowl ASMR. This is my nice fine china. It's not made of china, it's ceramic. Jingle's keys. Yeah, Jingle keys at me to eat. Remind me that for as much as I'm allowed to yap, I do need to eat my food. What are we meant to be doing today? Digital painting. I'm going to teach you some digital painting things. Like some tips on how to maximize your time with digital painting and some like ways of translating traditional painting skills to digital painting. But then also we're gonna break down the image I'm using as a reference for my spring background, and then I'm gonna start painting it using some of those skills. And then I'm also gonna show you the, I don't wanna say lazy, but like the way if you're making a background for something where it's not like a big deal and you don't need the background to matter, the kind of corner cutty ways you can make backgrounds people will not realize are not fully drawn using like photos and stuff. Yeah, we got hacks here, don't worry. Wonder how Five Guys the food chain tastes? Good question, I also don't know. I don't think I can eat a single thing on their menu. It's all vegetarian. Drop your phone in a bowl of rice? Hey, well at least the rice is dry, question mark, it won't be too bad. We do another green VTuber critique for St. Patrick's Day. When is St. Patrick's Day? That's coming up probably, right? March 17th. Am I live on March 17th? It'd be funny if March 17th was a Monday. 10 days. When will I age? When I will age? Wait. Amber, is your birthday March 17th? Question mark? Hang on, where's my calendar? Let's see. Oh, it is! It's a Monday! That is the Monday of, that is the Monday of our community week. And it is Monday. I'm sorry your birthday's on a Monday. We will sing you happy birthday, at least, Amber. But that is the Monday that starts our community week. That's the celebration of 2 years of EG existence. Starts that week. Day of birth for Amber, yeah. Yeah, we'll sing happy birthday to Amber. And we will also have, that day, I have a secret. Wait, I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you a secret. There's also something happening that day. There's also something happening that day. What's also happening? You wanna know a secret? I say, stuffing something in my mouth. Secret. Do you wish to hear the secret? Spring debut? No. Nope. No. Not that. It's community week. It's Shroomate week. There's a thing that I think I showed you all once upon a time that was in progress, that is still in progress. It's almost done. I'm gonna finish it as soon as I finish my Snow Miku. It'll happen. Minecraft? Okay, that's also happening that week, I believe. But that's not the thing. The plans for that week include the VR chat meet and greet online, which is happening. We're gonna play some Roblox games together, theoretically maybe. I'm gonna go back to analyzing viewer art styles, also as a thing. But it's not that yet. 3D Shroom or earrings? It's the first one. It's the first one. It's you. Shroomates, you finally get to be on the stream. We are going to have our text-to-speech fella, who is a little Shroomate, who will debut that week as part of Community Week. There's also another thing I haven't told you yet either, that will also be happening that week in all likelihood. There's a lot happening that week, so we will do a little community celebration, and we will get to sing Happy Birthday to Amber that Monday. Yay! So it'll be a fun, exciting week, hopefully. So I'll be releasing the plans for that next week, despite it being the following week, just so that, you know, we can get plans all in order, because I am streaming also on Tuesday, and also other things, yeah. I can chant out loud. Theoretically, maybe. Yes. There will be text-to-speech, and it's gonna be the classic old-fashioned, like, thing where it sounds like a robot reading it. Yes. So you can do that, and you can rebel, and it will say it out loud, but I think Amber will hit you with a gun, theoretically, if you make any attempts at that. Yeah. So be careful. Act accordingly. Hi, Aphrodite! Your message has gone so fast, I don't know what you said. Hi, Aphrodite! It's gone. Chanting? No! No chanting! No! No chanting! I stab you with fork. Shroommates, I'll eat you! How does that feel? Hang on, wait, Selma. Quick! That's Selma. Hey, remember what happened in that Little Nightmares game? Remember what happened in that Little Nightmares game? I can eat the Shroommates. I see you chanting, Ryuku. I see you chanting. Here's my fork. Yummy, yummy little mushroom creatures. Yummy little mushroom creatures. Be good. E.g. will decompose you back into the mycelium. Not you going, yeah. Promise? No. You acting like you enjoy it is probably the best deterrent for me ever doing that again. It don't taste good. I ate salt and vinegar chips and sour candy. I've been telling you all this whole time that I don't taste good, but that stopped actually none of you, so I don't care. I'm a mushroom. I'm absorbing you through my little mycelium tendrils. I don't have taste buds in those. It doesn't matter what you taste like. Every always beans in Spanish. Yes. How do you say tofu? Or like mac and cheese? Or those words that, I guess tofu is a word that probably wouldn't have a translation. But like mac and cheese in Spanish. Is there a word for barbecue in Spanish too? Barbecue beans. This is gonna suck for the rest of stream. What is that? Is that a horn? I don't know what that is. Yeah, tofu I would imagine is the same. Tofu is tofu? Yeah, tofu is tofu. What is mac and cheese? There's definitely, I feel like, a way to say mac and cheese, and then probably also barbecue, because I can have my barbecue beans and mac and cheese. Macarones con queso. Okay, yeah. Alright. That checks out. That makes sense. Hello. Reclusive chain. Kebab? Wow. Probably the most American meal ever. Oh, yep. Well, I mean, other than the fact that it's full of tofu. I don't know how American tofu is. I say fully knowing how much it's not probably American, yeah. But yes, the barbecue and mac and cheese is. And the baked beans. Alright, I've almost eaten enough to go do things that we're supposed to be doing here today. Listen, are we just listing random foods now? No, I was asking how to say things in Spanish. But I do see kebab and also barbacoa just as things being listed also, so there are random other, I guess, meat-related things being listed also, for unrelated reasons. The tofu is San Francisco inclusion? What do you mean? I'll admit, I don't know much about the origins of tofu. Marinating veggies for dinner tonight, and this is making me hungrier. Eat your meals. Yeah, I know it's Asian, but I always wonder with things if it's like the classic Italian-American pizza situation, the Italian-American spaghetti and meatball situation, where it's like, those are not meals in Italy. They kind of went back to Italy for tourists, but like, those are like American immigrant kind of things. So I feel like I never know where things start or come from or end up. I don't want to assume. Ancient 3rd century food. Oh, meat. What the heck? Oh wait, that makes sense because Jubby and I watch, there's like a guy who cooks, he lives in somewhere that's rural in China, and he makes the, what do they call it, the hairy tofu, and Jubby, every time they see the hairy tofu is like, I'm like actually really intrigued to try the hairy tofu. I kind of want to try it. I have a mold allergy. So hopefully I'm not allergic to the mold that causes that, but I like want to try it. Hairy, yeah. They culture a very specific kind of mold, question mark, on it, that gives it these long, like, hairy tendrils growing on it. They ferment it with that, and then they, like, dip it in stuff afterwards, and it looks yummy to me. It looks kind of good. Mushroom has mold allergy? Hey, molds outcompete mushrooms. Molds will kill mushrooms. Have you ever been somewhere that's like near a creek before? You'll see mushrooms growing with molds on them, and the mold will break down the mushroom and kill it, so it makes sense. Just 'cause we're in the same, like, family-ish, question mark? Same kingdom, doesn't mean we're besties, I'll tell you that much. Also, hi, Spree, how are you? Fair point, yes, lore accurate. Don't worry, all of my mushroom things are always lore accurate, including my mango allergy. I promise that my mango allergy and my toothpaste allergy also make sense to my lore, yes. All right. This is all the more I can eat at this moment, because I am full. I've eaten a Squiiji-sized meal. So, what I am going to do, real fast, quick, while you ponder on hairy tofu, is pop my little BRB in here. I'm going to run! Oh, whoops, I bumped my camera. I'm gonna go run and stick this in the fridge, and then I'm gonna set up my desk. I will be right right back. You all be good. Okay. Be good for substitute teacher Amber. And also Odgepodge if Odgepodge is here, and Reality if Reality is here, and anyone else who is here potentially. Any of my other mods who are here. Be good for them, please, okay? I see you trying to eat things, that's fine. You can do the mouth. I'll be back. Are you being good? Are you being good, true mates? Are you being good? Oh, play Jenga? That's good. I approve of this. I approve of playing Jenga. You can play Jenga. That's acceptable. I'll approve of that. All right. I'm gonna put us here. There we go. The reminder, be happy to let's play Uno. Guys, I want to play Uno so bad. I love Uno. Oh, golden floating ring. What's this? What is this golden floating ring? I know what this golden floating ring is. It's gone. It's the remnants of yam that once were. I'm back! I gotta set up my desk so that we can do, have art tablet again. Sonic, let's play evil Jenga. I have a question. I have a question. How many people maximum can you play Uno with? Like, is there a maximum to how many people you can play Uno with on, like, those Uno sites? Because I gotta tell you something really sad. I have something really sad to tell you, which is that, a lot of my friends refuse to play Uno with me anymore. Because I'm just too good at Uno. Jubby's family will not play Uno with me anymore. A couple of my IRL friends will not play Uno with me anymore. Because I just win. I just keep winning. I once, while playing with, two of Jubby's roommates, won 15 rounds of Uno in a row. 15 rounds in a row. So you know, honestly, I don't blame them for not wanting to play with me. And it's like one of those things where, like, Uno's not a game of skill, so it's not like it's not like I'm just good at Uno. I just, for some reason, all of my luck stats just all get funneled in there, and I don't know why. And like, even playing with Jubby's family, it wasn't 15. I think I won 7 games in a row with them. Still like a ridiculous number. Like, still a totally, fully ridiculous number. Sorry, I didn't mean to teleport so close to you. But like, I feel like if I played with like 8 people, like if the Shroomates played it, because I know you can play it on Discord, I feel like that would maybe level my odds. But at the same time, I kind of want to have like an Uno tournament, so that way I can see if I'm actually good at it or not, and then get myself eliminated in the first round to prove once and for all to my friends and family that I'm not that good at Uno, so that maybe they'll play Uno with me again. There we go. All right, plug this back in. Oh, I didn't shut the door. There we go. I have that with Mario Party. Game just loves you. Still enjoy Mario Party. Oh no! Oh, hi, Nano. Make new art. My old art's in the thumbnail. It's not that old of art. It's still really cute art. It was very nice and painterly, which is why I used it. What's the rubric on the screen? Oh, that's the housekeeping. Hang on. We're gonna go into the Discord real fast, quick here too. Let me put it here so we can see it. There we go. And we're gonna look at things in the Discord, which that will be one of the things included in what we're mentioning in the Discord. Yeah. Let me close my door though. One of my neighbors has a dog, and the dog is really cute, but the dog barks all day long, and if I leave my door open, I can hear the dog barking, because I think it's barking in the living room, because that's where its crate is, and it barks really loud all day, and it does drive me a little tiny bit nuts. Just a little bit nuts. There we go. Don't have your Discord? Oh, there you go. Wordy's got it. Wordy's got you. Would love to play rounds with Uno with you. Maybe we play Uno during Community Week. Maybe we play Uno on Discord during Community Week, because they have like an Uno-ish mode on there. Bigger small dog? It's a little dog! It's a little, what are like they're like the fluffy white ones. Not the ones that get like the eye goop, but like the fluffy ones. I don't know how to explain them. I don't know what dog types are. He's very cute. I like seeing him when I take my garbage out. No, not Pomeranian, he's bigger than that. No, not Pomeranian. No, nope, not Pomeranian. There were 3 guesses of Pomeranian. He's white and fluffy and Malteser. Oh, it might be a Malteser. That could be what it is. That sounds familiar. Malteser. Nope, that's a candy. Nope. Oh, no, not Malteser. No, I see the dog also. Nope. Toy poodle? No. Yeah, not the UK food. Bichon Frise? Oh, we're really trying to figure this dog out. Let's see, Bichon Frise. No, not that. That also looks like a poodle. It looks like not a poodle. Nope. Nope, we haven't figured it out. It might be some blend of things. It might be the classic, mixed, like, mutt type, dog, but he's just a fluffy white guy. Long hair or short hair or curly. He's got, like, longer white hair. Longer white fur. And it's not like, he's fluffy, but it's not curly. Does that make sense? A photo. I do not have a photo of him. Bolognese? Is that a dog type? Dog. No. Nope, not that one either. I know what a Shih Tzu is, and it's not that either. No, you're just naming food. I know. Was confused. Drawing? Yeah, we will get there. Yes, hang on. So, step 1 into us getting there. I have to go... Whip. What? Why are my stingers not happening? Hello? Why is my Squiiji stinger not working? Question mark. Lasagna. I promise that's not a kind of dog. I promise that is not a type of dog. Samoyed. Okay, I'm gonna keep looking at dogs. Oh, it might actually be a puppy of one of those. It does look like this. Hang on. He looks like this. Hang on, copy image. Hang on. Bring this down here for a second so I can show you and I'm gonna copy and paste it. This is what he looks like. I think it might just be a Samoyed puppy then. Good guesses, fellas. We figured it out. Because he definitely had a different head shape than the other ones do. But look, they're very cute. They are very cute. I guess he's not gonna be a little dog anymore, but he's so loud. He is so loud. He barks all day, every day, which I guess makes sense if he's a puppy. He might not know any better yet. But before we get to digital art and drawing, real fast, quick, Discord. Howl at the moon. I knew it, I didn't. Samoyed, my dream doggo. They are very cute. They are very cute. But Discord, Howl at the moon. Disable that. Lemia has drawn me as the Elmo emote. Look how silly this is. I could make this a sticker because they said that, drawing me just trying to infect this place with my favorite emote so I can use it. I can make it into a sticker if you want. I can make it into a sticker on the server. I feel like that's pretty good. That's a pretty accurate Elmo. That's me when I come back from BRB and you guys are chanting or doing other things that you should not be doing. This is me arriving to the everything fine. Maybe I will. Thank you, Levi. It's cute. I love some of my favorite EG drawings are like the scrunkly ones like this. Cable Girl drew me with my onion head once upon a time and I haven't found a use for it, but it is genuinely like one of my favorite arts I have. Like I love like Aphrodite's little goober. Zany draws me as a little goober sometimes. I love EG goober type drawings. Don't get me wrong, I love all EG drawings, but where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Hang on, go back. You'll find it. That's another good goober. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? More goober. Was it that long ago? Was it really that long ago? EG goober I'm looking for. Maybe it's not even in this one. There's another bugs goober. Is it pre-Halloween? Was it that long ago? It might be in memes actually now that I think about it. Wait, hang on. Nope, not that one. Wait. Am I close? I think I might be close to it. This one. This is one of my favorite EG fan arts. To this day, still one of my favorites. I really need to find some use case for this. I think I put it on my schedule at some point. This is so funny to me. It's so good. It's so silly. I love being a little onion. I don't remember why I was onion. There were a couple onion related things that happened at the same time. Freeform also drew me as an onion. Was I crying? What did I do? What was the context of this? I don't remember. But they're so funny. I love them. Hi, otters, hold hands. Friend is one familiar, the definition of happy puppies. That's good. I'm glad the puppy's happy. He might just be a little sad because his fellows are not there. Reminds me, are we going to be doing design review of Guilty Gear Strive one day? Yeah, next Thursday. Next Thursday! It was originally going to be this Thursday, but then Yam and I realized that this was the final week before Snow Miku, so it got pushed back another week. It was supposed to be the first design review of the new year, and somehow it's March, and we have not gotten to Guilty Gear yet. It's next Thursday. I've willed it into existence. Onions because of your hair getting removed, but not your hair up thingy because of a glitch. Oh, it was because of my little sprout thing got toggled back on. I see. Okay, I see. That makes sense. There was some hair glitch. Top thing was still there. Yeah. That was it. Yeah. Bald DG broke my head. I'm looking forward to Bald DG coming back, because right now not having that as a toggle, I think makes all of us a little sad. I miss my sleigh. Let's see what we got in memes now. What? Hang on, I haven't gone in here in a minute, I feel like. I think the last one I saw was this. This is how I feel when you're all saying that, yes. That is how I feel when you're all saying that. Just a little empty inside. Just a little empty inside, unfortunately. Approaches in 50-50. Selma, are you trying to cause me to pull a character I don't wish for? Why is she in the virtual insanity pose either? This is a very funny body for you to pick. Hi, Himiko. Can I tell you also, I'm so sad. I was supposed to have a Rogue Tuesday stream last week to pull for Boot Hill. I was supposed to have a Rogue Tuesday stream. But or was that last week or was that the previous? No, yeah, that was last week. I was supposed to have a Rogue stream on Tuesday to pull for Boot Hill before the banner went away. But the world said no. The world said, EG, you actually have to travel 7 hours away for unfortunate reasons, so you don't get to have him. No. So he is gone. And that also means he's not gonna get a rerun for, like, forever, probably. Boot gone. Boot will never happen for EG, so I gotta figure out my next strat, because I got a lot of the gem things to use in that. I gotta figure out who the heck is the schmoove, I guess, for that one, because this is not a reality. This can't be real. It's not gonna happen. I'll never have him. Heartbroken. Ree would be very sad, I'm sure, too. Means wait for Argenti. Is Argenti ever coming back? I feel like he's such an early character. People were telling me that they didn't think he'd ever come back, or like he'd come back anytime soon, and that he's just not worth getting even if he does. I don't know. Boot never. So you don't leave until the near deadline to start working on assignments to roommates. Oh, alive to thrive, not you accusing me of plagiarizing playing Hawkeye Star Rail. I just have too many things on my schedule, and I don't really play the game unless I'm live, so like, yeah, we'll figure it out. He still does from time to time though, because he is still really good. Oh, okay. If he has time from time to time, and because he's still really good, maybe that's our next wait. Maybe we wait for the redhead to come home. Finally getting a redhead. Not this one. Not this one. Himiko, keep your distance. Keep your distance. Don't worry, he's here. There aren't different servers that offer my Boot Hill. Don't worry, there are other people. I have a full friends list on Hawkeye Star Rail, and I have access to several Boot Hills for using in the other modes. I just wanted to have him on my silly little team. But at the same time, he doesn't make sense with my current team composition. What can you do? We are not dying on this Boot Hill. See you, Space Cowboy. I'll see you next time, man. Then the Herda. Time to twirl. Why not both, though? I don't think I have the shmoney for both. I don't think I have the shmoney or team comp for either. Tribby's a redhead, close enough. I don't know who Tribby is. I'm not familiar with that fella either. Hi, Moss Cake! Personally victimizing Selma with that Himiko slander. I wouldn't have mentioned Himiko had Selma not drawn this. I'm not victimizing Selma. Selma did open the door for that one by reminding me of the existence of this character, who I'd all but wiped my brain of until this moment, until seeing it. But thank you for the lovely Boot Hill edit also. Hee hee. E.g., I don't have the money. Mythic Shogun appears, yeah. I still feel, I feel bad that it's sitting there not in use at the moment as a result of that. The guilt eats at me alive every day. And I feel bad because it's not a game I play often enough for that to feel like fair. I feel like there's people who are more deserving of it than I. I appreciate it nevertheless, but I feel there's more people who are more deserving of it than I, who are more involved in the game. Yeah. Tribby, the newest girl voiced by Sayu's partner. Oh, I think I saw him react to seeing the character in like a short or something? Question mark. I don't really know anything about the new characters other than that people are mad that one of the new characters gives you like a boost or something that goes outside the character. I don't really know what it is, or like maybe that's like one of the beta tests for that character. I don't know. It was a random day of this week where I got a bunch of, for some reason, recommended Honkai Star Rail, like, Rage, How to Kill a Gacha Game video recommendations that were all posted in the last, like, 3 days. So, I don't know. People seem to be mad about some of the new things they're doing, which gives me fear. So we'll see. Oh, beta leak? Oh, no. Oh, boy. Hopefully they do not do whatever that is. Oh, wait. I have a thing that's missing. Where is my thing that's missing? There we go. This is supposed to be here. Where is it? There it is. That's supposed to be here. There we go. It wasn't turned on. Got it. Nailed it. I saw the thing over there. Ah. This is why me and Selma can never be on the same side. What is going on here? I've just realized that EG... I gotta zoom in. Just realized that EG has good guy doll proportions and now I can't unsee it. Wait! Oh no! I do kind of have Chucky proportions, don't I? Is that what his name is? That's Chucky, right? I don't know horror characters really. But he's also wearing overalls. That'd be a really easy Halloween costume for next year, honestly. I could just do like a recolor. I feel like I could just do like an EG recolor and be a reference to him next year. Like I feel like that would work out. Blame Selma for putting Himiko's head on EG's body. Oh, okay, so everything's related somehow. Redhead, I guess, made you think of it. Wait, so instead of a good guy doll, would they be a fun guy doll? Selma, I'm glad your puns are forever alive, yes. Fun guy doll. Need to draw Chuck EG. Is that what I see here? Is that what that is? Oh no! I look so smug! Look how smug I am. I'm holding a knife. Honestly, this is not a bad idea for Halloween next year. Because honestly, if I don't have time to do a full, like, modeled outfit, I could maybe, theoretically, just recolor my current outfit to be him. And then I could just make a knife, because I have a gun, but, like, this is not the same. This is really not the same. I am armed and dangerous, but I feel like being small and having a knife is way scarier than being small and having a gun for some reason. Like, I don't know. Something about that, yes. Here's your next Halloween costume. Yeah. Did a friend think of Chuck E.G. Cheese? Oh my god. My name, I am so happy I came up with my name that I have. Chuck E.G. Cheese. That's me if I was a mascot horror, or horror mascot kind of thing. If I was a Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria type of man. If I was planted into one of those scary games. What would that even be like? Just like an E.G. Cordyceps, you're in the mushroom house and I take over your body. Evil. But thank you for the fantastic idea. The teamwork of Incinda and Selma is always strong, it seems like. It appears to be always quite strong. What is this? Proof of hive mind. Ladder, launching, ladder, ladder, ladder. Ladder, 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 ladder. Yeah, uh-huh. I think I said something about it that made you all launch them, but I might be Eldritch, and that might be why you all decided to attack me all at once. Oh, ladder! Thanks! I appreciate it. Very kind of you. Thank you for other ladder. I appreciate it. Thank you for other ladder. I appreciate it. Thank you for other ladder. Much appreciated. Thank you. You're gonna turn me into an NPC streamer. Stop. Help. Wait. Stop. No. No. Guys. I was gonna do a bit. I was gonna be an NPC streamer. Thank you for the ladder. Wow. Thank you for the ladder. Thank you for the ladder. Thank you for the ladder. Help! No! Stop. No more ladders. The only time the cultist, the Inquisitor are flocking together. Yeah, the only time the cultist, the Inquisition work together is when this happens. There is a mushroom mascot costume in the upcoming FNAF series of the Mimic. Oh! What have you done now? What have you done? What have you done? I think you should reflect and think on your actions. You donated all of those ladders. All of them were given to me as a very kind gift. Only to grow my power so that I may take on my ultimate form. I will let you know. I was investigating some alternate ultimate form. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. Even that, you know, that even happens to the Eldritch Nightmares of the Night. We get tongue-tied too, mostly because we don't have tongues. I love that Amber is telling on you who it was who brought on my transformation. You have been told on, the substitute teacher has left in the notes for the Eldritch Nightmare that it was you who summoned me here to do your bidding today. Blue Fire Blood, why have you summoned me here today? What is your will? The summoning circle ritual has been fulfilled. Is there a deed you wished for me to carry out, an offering you wish to make? Something you wish to say? Was there anything? Or is it just flexing your shroomy wealth upon all of the kingdom? I see a lot of ladders happening. Can't think of our actions if we didn't participate. That's true. Callie, you did fine. You didn't do anything. YouTube, you guys, as per usual, are not at fault. You guys were once the more chaotic classroom, but these days, your classroom is much calmer. Much more relaxed. So we get Treacher in on this. Yeah, Treacher would frown upon this most likely, all these actions. But you're still welcome to provide offerings to me. I will take this opportunity to use the mouth that doesn't exist and drink some hot chocolate. I will just dump it in my shoe, I guess. Your puny little snowballs have nothing on me right now. I don't know if you realize that. They don't really do anything right now. You should hold on to them and save them for when they'll actually do some damage, if that's what your intention was. Let's see. The Eldritch Nightmare can pass judgment on your drawings also. What the heck is the context on this one? Why did you turn regular EG into Goku? You can't see it because my beautiful body is blocking it. Take a look at my hair. Is this Super Saiyan EG? What is the context here? Pray tell. Selma, what? Well, I guess I might be able to tell what the context was. Hang on. What would Super Saiyan EG look like? I can show you if you want. This is my new role making cursed EGs. Wow, that is a fantastic ability that I can just find where it came from. Why did it happen? Someone said it in chat, and Cinda said it in the chat in the Discord. I guess, roommates, if you need strange permutations of EG that you cannot edit yourself, request and ye shall receive, apparently. Selma does the bidding of many of the shroommates in making me Super Saiyan and also Boot Hill and also Chucky and also... Milo's done something to me also that I'm noticing. We'll get there eventually. Colaris, if that is how you say your name, thank you for following. If I goofed it up, I have teacher debuff. I also have Eldritch Nightmare debuff right now. I don't have eyes, so if I can't read, that's, you know, a personal issue. That's a personal skill. Do the Eldritch children have their favorite food? Like to give offerings? The Eldritch children don't really require sustenance. You know how gods don't really need to eat. Like, Eldritch EG doesn't really need to eat. I just like receiving fish crackers. They're nice to gaze upon until they inevitably get soggy and moldy, as they do in the Mushroom Kingdom. I don't really need to eat them. But the Eldritch children, I don't know what they eat. I've never witnessed them eat. And some of them don't even really have mouths. I'm gonna guess they eat ladders, because that's the offering I mainly obtain? I don't know. I do have boot eye, but that eye is just seeing an infrared, unfortunately. That doesn't help me with trying to analyze names and the likes. Infrared is not very good for reading. I'm dangerous, my snowballs have rock and small twigs that can get into eyes. Okay, Nilo, I don't have eyes right now. Good luck. You can throw your snowballs once I've resumed my normal form, but for now I am invincible. You cannot hurt me. I can just go whip, whap, whip, whap, and just like swat away whatever funny little things you try to throw at me like flies. That's all. T-Chan's favorite food is toast. Oh, that's true. T-Chan's favorite food being toast would make sense. I think that would check out for her. But I don't know what any of the others would eat, even if they even do eat. I don't know. Again, Selma and I should not team up, even if we agree on banger children game shows from the UK. What shows are you agreeing on? I can't really do anything while I'm in this state. I am just trapped here before you. Did you want me for something here? Do we need something? I don't remember. Creature probably nibbles on flowers and leftover paper. Probably. Oh, look, I'm back! And still T-posing. This is new. I'm just stretching my arms out real quick here. You know, the shoulders, they're a little tight. We're just stretch out a little bit. Definitely Raven. I don't know Raven. I know That's So Raven. That one was fun. I just found out that her, the guy that was in that show apparently has not had a good, go at life, unfortunately, since that show occurred. Unfortunate. I learned that today. I don't remember what his name was either. I don't know. Ooh, boy, best character design for host. Okay, you are welcome to show me if you want. Oh, there we go, finally. Arms are released, okay. My name is E.G. I made the exquisite corpses. It was difficult to put the screenshots together. Huh? What? Hello, can I get the context for this? This is like light mode, scary rim lighting, E.G. Was that the goal? I'm not sure I'm picking up what you're putting down on this one. Mycelium joints. What? What are we talking about? Sinister E.G. Yeah, this is kind of a sinister E.G. This is the figure you see before you at like the foot of your bed at night. Just kind of hanging out. Questionably. Hive mind at work. What are you clipping, Selma? I don't even know what's happening. Never thought this would be referenced? What are we referencing? I don't know what we're talking about. I've lost it. Really niche meme. Oh, okay. This is just sinister E.G. to me. This is the E.G. who appears at night in your room and goes, I flew up. Because it's very scary when children appear in your room at night because they're short. Short, Jubby, in the wise words of Jubby, short people are scary. Just Google my name is Edwin. Okay. My name is Edwin. Wait. Oh, it's a guy. It's a man in a side profile with glasses, and he's just got a little bit of white rim light on him. My name is Edwin, and I have a gaming addiction. I don't have a gaming addiction. That's not me. An official Edwin design, so I'll forever see him as just this dude now. What is Edwin from? Is he from something? Silhouette you see when you get added to Smash Bros. Oh, that's true. When they inevitably put EG into Smash Bros. To give me my nice shroomy power-ups, this is what you will see. I love learning some miscellaneous random internet lore from corners I am fully unfamiliar with. This is a very confusing image too. We've got, my name is Edwin, but it says Absolute Cinema. It's the Shironoko girl with the antlers. And it's on the Project Sekai wiki. What? I have no idea what any of this is. I'm actually more confused now. Really bad FNAF fan song. Wait, is this that brain rot FNAF song? It sounds like it might be. So I guess by the power of Nilo, I am now also related even more to FNAF. Oh boy. No, it's infected here too. Corey is not happy. What is this? I've told my cat 1,000,000 times, stop opening interdimensional portals in my house! Oh. I've told my shroommates 1,000,000 times not to open interdimensional portals in the classroom, but Alive to Thrive still is continually jumping back and forth between the realms with no care for the fabric of reality. One of these days, it will all come crashing down at your hand specifically, but I do overlook it because you are a rather well-behaved shroomate. But at least at this point, as you can see in the overlay, Alive to Thrive has been rescued from the void. Do not be like Alive to Thrive. If you get trapped in the void, it takes a long time to rescue you. Did you see Alive to Thrive in the overlay? They are back. Alive to Thrive has returned to us. I figured out why Alive to Thrive was missing in the first place also, which is because there was a space at the end of their name. And apparently my overlay did not like that, and it took me so long to try and figure out what was wrong with it. It did not work. But it did work now. And it's back. Alive to Thrive is here. Careful, don't tear apart the threads of reality for me, please. Alive to Thrive. Thanks. We must. The Inquisition is small and needs to cover ground. Okay, that's fine. Just be responsible in your portal opening, okay? And Cinda, I can't have you getting lost in the void either. It's not easy for me to recover you because it takes a long time to figure out what's wrong. I did write down this time that having a space in the name screws it up. Because I couldn't tell it wasn't an underscore because it doesn't really show the underscore in the thing. Yeah, I don't know. Made to work and we're still in the memes? Yes, we are. We're an hour and 16 in and I haven't gotten beyond this. Which is a-okay and still fine. What can you do? But thank you for memes. Alive to Thrive. Oh, you even made this yourself, Alive to Thrive. You even made it yourself. The self-awareness is good. Got lost in the void last week somehow, and Aldi was there? Did you get lost in the Aldis? Don't do that. Don't go into the liminal spaces, Shrewmates. I can't save you if you go there. Do not go where I cannot follow. Maybe whenever there's a compound emoji with 0 with characters, I know. Do you know what YouTube hates? Is emojis that have compound characters and 0 with characters. Because sometimes I'll copy and paste things from Twitter to try and put it in like my title for things, or type in emojis and it auto-corrects them to something, but then it puts 0 with letters somehow still in, and then it doesn't let me make the YouTube thing. It don't work, and I don't know why. It's very unkind to me sometimes, but. All right, final things here. What do we have in live suggestions right now? Oh, Selma's sending me the cheese crackers. Flavor savory nibbles. Oh. Selma desktop, what do you call, what is one looking for? Reveal? Selma's got an LED keyboard, some sort of red mouse pad. Is that a Pollo? I see. I love me a little Pollo. But these are interesting cheese crackers. Flavor savory nibbles. That is an interesting thing to call something. Cult classic game show. It's very memorable. Oh, is this the Raven thing you guys were talking about? What? Are you using the word cult legitimately? Because, like, these are children who are dressed in a minorly menacing fantasy-esque manner, but this is a hooded figure? Okay, I see. Both ways? Okay. That makes sense. That checks out. It's winter. All right, Riraku. Just because you live somewhere where spring came early does not mean all of us do too, okay? Don't make me jealous, and we are going to paint cherry blossoms today on stream also. Listen. Cult classic, and that's the enemy. There you go. Raven trapped in Jungle Run repressed memories. Show is so good. I'm glad I can refresh your memories of it. I'll have to look more into some of these things, because I rarely know what these references are. Boogie Wonderland. Yeah, I don't, well, I'm not familiar with these. Final housekeeping thing. Where is it? Where is it? Hello? There it is. Extra credit. Design, if you so wish. A character design based on our rubric. If you so wish. They're due in a week. They're due a week from today. Here it is. Join the extra credit thing. There's a lot of people who have already submitted, and I've loved sneaking some little peeks at some of the designs. We can scroll through really quickly just in case you guys are interested to see them. There's a bunch, and they're like really fun. There's some really exciting, interesting ones, and I'm very excited to look at them in depth next week. They're very cute. I love a little character design challenge, and they're so good. So, if you want to, come join, if you so wish. On weekends, you've had like a month or so, I think, to work on them. So hopefully that was enough time for everybody. I know with like school and jobs and work and stuff, sometimes it can be hard to have enough time for stuff, but I hope this was enough time. And then, now, finally, it's art time. It's time for art. We can finally do drawing. Yippee! Let me put us in here first. Why are my transitions not happening? All right, you just get a cold cut, I guess, today for some reason. My transitions aren't working, and I don't know why. So, today, digital painting. We're digitally painting some landscapes, perhaps. That is the end goal. But first, for art. No, not art, art. A-R-T. Digital painting. The first thing that if you were trying to learn digital paint that you should do is you should do some orbs. You should make orbs. What canvas size? If you guys want to paint with me, usually I work on at least a 3K by 3K canvas pixels. 3000 pixels, 300 DPI. But paint some orbs. make some circles, make some orbs. And what we're gonna do when we make our orbs is just do a little bit of color theory practice and a little bit of practicing using the brush you so have chosen. Because there's a lot of brushes that can work very well for painting, and a lot of brushes that really don't work well for painting. So I just pick like a random color to start my base in. I'm gonna pick like a nice like red. And I'm gonna pick my mid-tone to start and say, all right, orb. We should also do a warm-up, but because I'm just doing something silly, we're not gonna worry about a warm-up. Digital painting hack. If you wanna make an orb, just make your brush really big half the time too. You just go like this. There's my orb. Then you can lock it. Oh wait, I should do this where you can see my layers. That should be the correct room here. Go here real quick, actually. Yeah, there we go. We should be here instead. There we go. Oh, hello, all the best to you too, Ruka. Hello. Is there a strategic reason to start with orbs? There is. What we're going to do is just become familiar with whatever brushes we're using before we try and use them to paint a landscape, and then also do a little bit of like color theory refreshing and figure out how we want to treat shadows in the cases of our drawing. We can use this as a little style guide for how we're going to handle a landscape or any other painting. So we'll say, all right, here's a mid-tone. I have come over here and I have locked it so that it cannot be moved. I have locked it so that our edges will stay solid the way that they are. You don't have to do that. If you're using a really painterly brush, you can unlock it. And I will if I show you an example of one. But right now, I'm just using a flat brush because believe it or not, you can just paint with a flat brush also. So, first we're gonna carve in some of our shadow tones. So we're gonna make our shadow tones a little cooler in tone, and we're gonna make them more saturated and darker. And for like spheres, usually it's gonna be like a big round shape like this somewhere. We're not gonna go for like perfect rendering accuracy of making this a sphere, but like that's a pretty decent start. I'm gonna leave edge highlight because that is also important for understanding shapes. For having dimension. We can make it a little darker, a little more saturated, and say, okay, here's another darker shadow. And then I like to have what they call like a terminator color, ambient occlusion, where I will just make the color saturated and maybe a little bit lighter and put that along the bottom edge or something. So believe it or not, this qualifies as painting because I'm not using lines. And then you can take these colors and say, all right, I want something that's a little bit lighter, a little bit warmer, and we're gonna add a little bit of depth in here. Whoop. And say, okay, a little bit of depth here in this region. We're gonna render in kind of like a hashing style. And go like this and say, okay, this kind of looks like fur. We can go, all right, so that's a little too dark. We can make it a little lighter to transition here and leave it at the saturation it's at so we get a little more color depth. And just say, okay, this is how I want to render if I'm rendering with this kind of brush. Make it a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter in tone. We'll do a highlight. And then I'll make it darker so that way I can kind of give us a little bit of feathering for it. Just to give it a little bit of interest. But like, you know, that's pretty decent as an orb. You guys like orbs, we like rotation. We're getting a little bit dimension when we zoom out. And that qualifies as painting. A lot of the painting that I do is done like this, and then I end up taking a blur and just blurring all the tones together at varying strengths. So I'll blur this one real smooth because I want this to be a really gradual transition across the face of this sphere. So I've got a really big blur brush to use for it. But then those highlights, I want them to be a little sharper. So I'm gonna make my blur brush even smaller, just so that I'm only blurring right at the edge of them. So that way they end up a little sharper, a little crisper, which ends up feeling more like a specular highlight. It's all about studying whatever object you want to replicate. But just because I'm doing a little warming up and figuring out how I want to use a brush, we're not gonna use a reference right this second. Just a little orb practice. There we go, and then I would probably do the same at the bottom. So like make a slightly larger blur. Smooth that out, smooth that out. That works as an orb, more or less from a distance. I could probably use to smooth this out on the inside a little more, just because I was a little bit loose with it. And then when I'm painting, I also tend to use a little bit of texture. So I have this funny little brush. So I can find it. Where is it? It's in here. In my painting, I have a stripe brush that I make kind of big, and I'll use it to add texture back in if I've removed too much texture. And I'll just kind of paint in the direction of the shapes. And that can add a little bit of flavor, a little bit of interest. And then after doing something like this, I could say, okay, I am now ready to do my landscape painting because I have now determined my working process for how I want to do all of my shading in it so that I maintain consistency. I like the look of how I've handled this where, you know, I had my Terminator color that was more saturated. I had a less saturated highlight. I blurred things out in a much wider blur to get a smoother gradation in areas where the transition of light to dark is smoother. Used a smaller blur brush for the tighter areas, and then went back in on top to do some refining by adding a little bit of texture back in, which gives it life. So this is just a little style test. And you can do that for any kind of brush, and this is one of my just general digital, like, art things that you should do, is just make yourself a little style guide object of how you want to handle things. Like, I have made the decision that, yeah, I want a rim light on the things I'm painting. You don't have to have a rim light, but I want a rim light. On this, I could even say, oh, okay, maybe I want to have a secondary light source, or I want this light source to be really bright and saturated. But what if I even want a secondary light source to remind myself on all my objects that they should have a much, much, much cooler light source? So we could even paint in that cooler, like, bounce light if we want. This is just where you end up deciding how you want to handle all of the objects you want to paint. Or like, maybe I actually want this to be all way oranger for that, and then add some blue or other things, right? Learned I've blurred too quickly, ended up getting lost, goes to grab work sketchbook to take notes. Yeah, if you don't blur too early into your process, I've screwed myself up sometimes. I will often, if I'm going to blur things that I've drawn out, I will duplicate the layer. I tend to paint all on one layer. I don't know if you see this. This whole thing is one layer. I tend to make a layer, lock it, and then paint on top of it to block in. I tend to be a little bit of a stiffer painter. I'm not as loose. If you blur too early in the process and don't have a backup, you can lose a lot of detail and you'll make things feel too soft, which tends to be one of the classic, like, digital art, like, attempt to not do types of situations. It's sometimes hard to avoid. But there is a wrong and right way to use airbrushes. There can be ways to use them very well in a very informed manner, or blurring brushes, where we can use them to great effect to make something feel round. Look, that's kind of a convincing ball from a distance, which is what we want. My blending. You can blend. But here, we can do a second one just to do another test of maybe different brushes. I'll show you some of the other brushes I use for painting if I'm not using my hard brushes. We'll just cover this up. Let's use a different color. Let's use like a blue mid-tone this time. I'm just gonna fill it all the way back in using my flat marker. There we go, use that blue. I have this other brush that I use that's called Oil Pastel. It's a Clip Studio paintbrush. I think I have it linked in the Discord. I have a, what is it? A thread? No. A forum post in the help tab that has all the brushes I used linked in it. I think this is one of the only brushes I paid Clippy points for. But hey, it's real easy to get Clippy points if you need Clippy points. Just pose the mannequin in an interesting pose and then post it. Clip Studio Paint gives you Clippy points for posting materials. That's the easiest way to get them because a lot of people like those too. Yeah, we're balling. We are balling for real. So this is my favorite painting brush. Once again, it'll go darker, more saturated, because I don't tend to change the way that I pick my colors based on my brushes. And you'll notice as I use this brush, it's got a lot more texture and it's got a lot more variation in opacity. So I can paint real light if I want to. And I can pick that color and sort of smooth my transition lines if I want to. I can blend without having to use a blur brush of any kind. So I tend to get a little more subtlety doing this. This is how I do most of my paintings. When I'm teaching, at least. When I'm on personal time, I am a hard color. user. Oop, this line might be a little too low. Bring this up a little bit more. We'll smooth this in. We are blending. We are also balling. Balling on a budget. Trying to imitate oil painting or gouache painting. It's been a struggle, especially since I decided to do it at night scene first. I'm gonna show you a very odd program here in a minute that I tinkered around in today. I got it a really long time ago. So it's not even the current version of the program, I don't think. Oh, this one I made too centered. That's fine. You'll see, and it's made for painting. I don't like it for digital painting, actually, because the shortcuts don't work for me the way that I would want them to, and it just stresses me out, unfortunately, as a result. But I'll show you it. I was messing around with it a little today, and it is very realistic. It just doesn't blend the way I wish it would. Hi, Hoshi! Don't worry, Hoshi, you're never late. Shroommates arrive precisely when they intend to. Let's make bounce light a little bit. And then we'll get a highlight. There we go. A little bit of blending. And that's more or less how I usually do my painting, is with that kind of technique. You've shortened me. Might be using that program right now. Are you really, Rex? So here's my orb style practice. This is how I tend to do my paintings, is with one of these two kinds of techniques. My VTuber stuff, I tend to not even do the texture on top of, because everything likes to be really smooth for VTuber artwork. But style test. That way, when I look back, you know, the next day, because, you know, digital painting, it takes a long time. It takes me a hot moment. I can look back and say, okay, my game plan for tackling all of my shading in the simplest form is cooler shadows, slightly warmer highlights, very saturated, like, edge, or like in this case, I wanted an edge highlight. We do want rim light. Do we want line art? Just all my little reminders, yeah. Kind of multi-layer, but then click merge when I'm done. You'll see when I do my actual painting, I do end up with a couple layers just for separating objects. That way I don't goof them up, but I do tend to merge down a lot by the end of working on something. So this is how I tend to get started before I do painting. Let me show you, I can open Rebelle real quick. This is a spoiler for the painting we're going to do, theoretically. The goal of what I'm planning to paint. Here was my first attempt at it in this program, just very loosely. And you can see the way I kind of work in layers through this one. I'll show you the reference it's from in a minute. This is such a weird program though. I don't really like the color choices I made. I feel like it's too warm. I want it to be a little cooler. But this program, what it has is it has all these brushes that have different blending modes and loading and offloading. It has watercolor like brushes. It has palette knives. It has round brushes. One of these days, I want to try following like a Bob Ross tutorial like this, because it works the way real painting works. This is not Clip Studio here. No, this is Rebelle, is the program name. And if you like watch here, let's see what layer am I on. If I want to like keep painting this, they kind of blend. Do you see how it's blending? It's like a real paintbrush. And if I create like a layer over the top of everything, just so that I can screw around, like there's round brushes that if I can like blend things back and forth. Those are not nice colors for me to be blending into each other. But it like blends things real interesting. Oh wait, hang on. I feel like, oh wait, those are oil and acrylic brushes. What are my other options? Where are the ones that are not the oil and acrylics? Tilt, color set, colors, navigator. I don't even remember how this program works. I just started using it today. Dabber? Oh my gosh, it's so textured. Look at my little dabber. They're very interesting. It is fun, but it's not really, it doesn't really fit my style. Here's a rake. Oh, that's interesting. Do you see how it's blending my background color to my foreground color? That actually is kind of nice for blending. But apparently it's very realistic in the way it works. It's very neat. Do you have to pay for it? I believe you do. I have a really old version. I might have bought it a long time ago on sale. But honestly, these days, getting painting programs and spending money on them, it's a tool. You can write it off in your taxes a lot of the time if you work in any way related to commission work. Very interesting. Yeah, it costs $100, but on sale for $10 a few months ago. Oh, see? Wait for that sale. Wait for it to do that $10 sale, perhaps. There's like, where are the watercolor brushes? I found watercolor brushes in here the other day. I don't know where they are. Wait. Oh, wait, hang on. Express oils. Here's watercolors. Oh, this is interesting. Hang on. Oh, man. Watercolor. Round watercolor brush. We probably can't even see it because I have all these things hanging out. Turn these all off. And also, there's just like a background color that is its own layer. Oh, look at that. That's a watercolor, theoretically. Filbert Dry. Oh, look at that watercolor. Watercolor has physics. Oh, God. Fan. Ooh, that's a neat texture. Oh, yeah, and it's like additive, too. It's just a very interesting program. Oh, it does have physics. Wait, do you see that? It's like blending. What? Whoa, that's wild. It like pushes it like water does. And it like dried. That edge dried. So I'm able to paint over top of it and it's not getting rid of all the texture. Do you see that edge expanding? Whoa. Watercolor should have physics, but this is really interesting. I can change the gravity. What can I do? I can change the size, water, opacity, and water. Transparency. Line smoothing, brush creator. Reset brush changes. There's a way to like pause and play it doing things. Yeah, pause diffusion. Wet or dry the layer. I can dry my layer. God, I should do a Bob Ross tutorial with this at some point. I feel like that would be really fun. But also maybe overwhelming. But then like I can paint over it because that's all dry because I dried it. This is really neat. When I was trying to just make a oil painting using it, I was kind of struggling because my color selection abilities aren't as great as I wanted them to be. And the way it blends for me with the oil paints weren't as nice, but like maybe I could repaint this with the watercolor and I'd have more fun with it. Like, because then it would blend together a little more in a way that might be interesting. I don't know. So I just felt like the oil, like it keeps the texture from underneath and I didn't really like that so much. But like maybe I could repaint this at some point with it, but that's not what my game plan was for today. My game plan for today was teach you some of the tactics for painting and then actually paint it from scratch because this is not what I want my actual background to be. Let's draw a happy little shroomate so it's not lonely. Let's draw a little friend. Yeah, here, we can draw a happy little shroomate. What color are you, shroommates? You guys are like this. Back to my oils. Oh, this is the weird fan again. Hang on, this is not the oil brush I wanted either. I want flat. There we go. It's too textured. Happy little shroomate. My brushes are really big right now. This orange. Give you your glasses, I guess. That's you, in case you were wondering. Here you are. There's your creature. I feel like I'd have to get to learn this a lot better if I wanted to follow a tutorial using it because I actually really struggle with it. There's no pen pressure working for me either, so I don't quite know. Also should be gravity and blow dryer. Is there? There's pigment, opacity, lock, fast, dry. Water's removed, but layer remains of wet. This definitely is worth learning more about. But yeah, you can set the paper texture also. Do you see this can? You can't. It's behind me. Let me move this. If I move this window, you'll be able to see it. Hang on. These are my layers. Do you see this canvas here? I can select my canvas. And I did this really crazy thing when I first got it, which is that I bought with it for like, it was like $1, I think, a paper that is the exact paper of Stonehenge Fawn, which if you're a printmaker, maybe you'll know what that is, or like a watercolor painter. This is the exact color Stonehenge Fawn is, which is my favorite paper on planet Earth for printmaking. I think that's what I actually used when we did our printmaking stream. But you can change the paper texture, you can change the color of your paper, you can set custom colors. You can make the texture more or less scaled. I have decals on my paper, which is crazy. This whole program is very neat and worth playing around with, but it's still a little too overwhelming for me. Hang on, can I have this? Can you come with me? Nope. Yeah, over here. And I can't stack my panels next to each other, unfortunately. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to play around with in this program, but this is not what I'm going to use. We're going to use Clip Studio Paint because that is a program I'm comfortable with. But at the end of the day, do your drawing in a program you're comfortable with. The school that I was at required me to teach in Photoshop. Let me tell you a secret. I hate Photoshop. I hate Photoshop. I hate Photoshop for painting. It's awful. It's so bad. I don't like it. The brushes are not my friend. The sizes of them are not my friend. Their options are also not my friend. The way it makes it colors are not my friend. The payment plan is not my friend. Their stance on AI, not my friend. I don't like it. I don't like Adobe. So once I started doing their AI nonsense, I did convince my program to cancel their Adobe subscriptions for that class and instead get Studio Paint subscriptions. 07. Why would you paint in Photoshop?
Because it's the industry standard. It's the industry standard to paint in Photoshop.
Ah! Oh, it's not. Not anymore, it's not. EG declares it is not industry standard anymore. You can paint whatever program you want as long as you get the job done. My only thing I will tell you is that, unfortunately, in this day and age, Procreate is still not considered an industry level program because of things like the layer limit, the canvas size limit, and stuff like that. So I'm not here to bash on it, but if you are trying to use that for like work applications and stuff, you might end up being limited by Procreate. So just be aware that you may have to use Procreate in tandem with other things. I'm also adding edge detail to this because it's a little too stiff. I don't have this. There we go. Orb. Yay. Photoshop gives me the ick. It absolutely does. Can you send a link to download the program? You can. I also should specify I'm not sponsored by Rebelle in any way. I just like their thing. It's cool. It is interesting. It's by Escape Motions. Weep, weep. Mwah. There you go. Here is this program. If you are interested. Their newest version is 7. I have Rebelle 5, which is older. W Fresco is now free and has water. I've never tried that one. I heard of that one. And for some reason, that's not even the one they wanted me to use in class either. I don't really know. Just drew it on my iPad and then insert it. Very annoyed painting that thing. Oh no. I guess Paint isn't industry standard, but it's much better than Procreate. Is it? I've never used either of those programs. The whole thing with industry standard is it just means that if you go to work in the industry, it's the program they might want you to know or the program that they're going to train you on. So if you are able to create good things in one program, you will be able to figure out how to make something good in another program. The only reason why an employer might want you to switch programs is if it doesn't fit in their pipeline properly. So like for 3D, that's kind of an important thing, is fitting into the pipeline properly. But for drawing, I can't see why there'd be a problem with extended use of another program if you can then put it into a Photoshop file. So like, for work, I would export my stuff as, you'll be able to see, I can save as a Photoshop document. Here. It doesn't matter. So I can always be sneaky and say, yeah, I'm using Photoshop. Secret Shoemates, I'm not using Photoshop. So, this is step 1. If you are trying to work out how you're going to do a digital painting, and you know, from square one, you've never done one at all before, give yourself a little style test. Give yourself a little rendering test first to find how you're comfortable with drawing, and even draw your sphere in a little bit of like an environment or something too, to give yourself even more practice. Give yourself a ground plane, a little bit of sky or something, a little bit of a background, just to give yourself a little familiarity. I do not suggest jumping in and starting painting something that is something you feel attached to and are excited to do immediately, because there is this thing which is rejection sensitivity, which is that if you jump in and try and paint the thing and it doesn't go the way you want, you might say, oh, I don't want to digital paint anymore. Oh, I don't really want to digital paint. And it makes it a lot harder to kind of push through that early stage of trying to figure it out. Do something light, do something that you really don't have any stakes in. Paint a sphere. Because then when your sphere doesn't work, it's like, wow, it has a sphere, wow, it's boring anyway. I'll just make another sphere. Sphere is low commitment, and sphere is not going to look at you and be sad because it's got bad proportioning or whatever. Sphere can't hurt you, and you can do a bunch of them very quickly until you find something that's comfortable. So don't try and tackle a huge project right out the gate. Do something little, do something small as practice. Figure out where your comfort is. Figure out what brush you like to use. I use my oil pastel and my YN stripes for painting usually, and that's about it. Unless I'm going to do my airbrushing / blending and little stripey mode thing. So, the image that I want to paint, whoops, that's a Miku from yesterday. The image that I want to paint is some sort of permutation of this. This is I think a 3D render that I found on Google. It's a free pics image, which I have a subscription to because I use a lot of the images for my video editing. And I was like, I need a nice image to use as a reference for my background. And you might say, all right, stick this image on another monitor or just like next to your image, go. No. You can do prep work. We're not doing plein air painting. You don't just have to be like, all right, I'm here, go. No. We can do prep work. We can do things that'll make the process easier for us and more enjoyable for us. There's things we can do instead first. The first thing that I tend to do when I take a reference image is find a way to make it exactly the way I want. This image is too yellow in undertone for me, and I wasn't super thrilled with the colors. So I added some adjustment layers to it to kind of push it a little more contrasty. I think I wanted the blues a little bit more prominent. Some of this looks really different between my two monitors. I think I wanted it more saturated too, because I have a tendency to desaturate when I'm painting. So here were my edits to it. Then, secondarily, we talked about this previously. Listen to me. Hear me out here. Listen to me. Okay. Tracing is okay. If. Tracing is okay if you're using it as a learning tool. You can trace an image if you are trying to figure out its shapes, if you're trying to learn the way it's proportioned, because you're going to take notes and you're going to develop a little bit of muscle memory about how it works. So you can take your pencil and say, all right, I want to just kind of trace the general shapes and forms here, just so I'm familiar with the way that it's laid out, the composition. So when I go to try and replicate it on my own later, elsewhere, it won't feel as new and it won't feel as intimidating. You can say, okay, I'm noticing here's our horizon line. We're trying to figure out proportionally where it is. It's probably a little bit less than a third of the way down the page, okay? We've noted that. I didn't draw it very clean. I could probably draw it a little cleaner. We notice there's a little bit of like variation in the ground here that happens not too far down, and then there's like a darker space. So we can notice, okay, there's these kind of like wiggly shapes happening in the middle, right? All these people didn't listen all the way through. No, listen all the way through. You're allowed to trace to build familiarity with things, to just become more used to the shapes. It's good as practice. Isn't FreePic filled with AI slop these days? In the end of it that I use isn't. I use FreePic because it has icons. A lot of my icons that I use, like, I can actually show you them, that I use for, where are they? For my redeems and stuff like that. These, their basis is all in FreePic. I draw a lot of them, but some of them have like a basis where it was just an outline or something, or like a doodle that they had for an icon, and I'll color them and transform them into icons that I use for things. Like I think my question mark came for that. I drew my oarfish. Drew some of them, but yeah. That's what I use it for. That end isn't full of it, but it might be. This looked like a 3D render to me, but now that you're saying that, I'm getting nervous. Seems like a render. Seems too functional. I don't know. Remember, rotoscoping in animation is basically just professional tracing. That is true. That is true. Rotoscoping is a respected technique in animation. Rotoscoping is very well respected in animation. So you're allowed to trace things as long as you make it clear that that's what you're doing. And you're doing it intentionally. You're doing it for a reason, and you're not trying to pass somebody else's work off as your own. I'm not going to trace this and say, all right, this is the final version of my sketch that I'm going to use. I'm going to draw over it just to be familiar. I'm going to say, okay, what is the general trending direction of the trees? Okay, we're going to practice our little sight line here. We can do a little bit of sighting using our brush. We can hold our pencil up at an angle. Oh, my hand isn't here. Where's my hand? Hello? All that time, I didn't have a hand. Whoops, here it is. Look at my green screen for a second. There we go. We can do our sighting. Hello? Why is it still not here? What's going on? Where's my hand? Hello? My tablet arm is missing. That's weird. That's so strange. Wait. Now it's here. Okay, maybe it's working. All right. Seriously, AI is nothing but an invasive virus. It is, because now it has me questioning whether this reference is or not, because the more I look at it, some of the things are kind of weird about how the trees are only 1 deep, which is why I thought it was a 3D render. Like, it seems too cohesive and coherent to be, but you never really know. I don't know. But here's our general trending direction of, like, the shapes of these trees. They're generally coming down towards a vanishing point that's down in here somewhere. Really, like, right in there. Undersides of all the canopies kind of come through like this. It's kind of radiating out of that point. And then we have a couple of these bigger forms that are meant to be more focal and add a little variation that are kind of sticking out into it. So like this is a tree here. Here is a tree that's cutting off the edge. This I think is flowers. I think the branch is being lost because of the sunlight, but I think this is part of that tree too. Yeah. Had a vibe, but it's in the gray zone when it comes to identifying. I don't know. Things make sense enough here that I think it might just be a 3D render, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, it's consistent. These bushes are rendered the same way these bushes are rendered, which I feel like AI can't do. And the blurring makes sense in the foreground, but I have no idea. Later, I tried learning 3D art and came to learn that HDR changed the way I look at lighting. HDR is very cool, but I don't know that much of it. Yeah. Pre-2023 databases are valuable. They are. Hi, Almontis also. Christian art as a category is ruined. Oh no, I bet it is. Oh no, that doesn't come as a surprise to me at all, unfortunately. Usually when I Google search stuff, I make it pre-2022, and that usually helps, but I don't know if I remember to do that for this one. This might have just been something I pulled out of free pick, because I don't really filter it usually out of there. And either way, I'm making a drawing based on it, so I really don't care if that's what this is at this point. I'd be mad if it was. Whatever. Getting a little better, it still sucks. It does still suck, though. Pictures of Gothic, anything is ruined. Trying to find pictures of almost anything is ruined if you're trying to look for modern images of it. It sucks. But anyways, back to focusing up. We're taking notes of things as we trace over. We're gonna say, okay, there's a tree here. Branches. We have a tree here. We've got all these trees that are descending in the distance, but we're gonna notice that the trees get incrementally closer together as they get further away. Okay, we're taking mental note. Big tree here. This is the closest object to us, the viewer. Other than this branch, I think, that's coming down in the foreground. That might be from something else. That might be why it's confusing my brain. I think this branch is in the foreground and it's not on this tree. But biggest tree, and then we see another tree here that's very similar in shape to this one, which might be, it might just be 3D and it might be just the same object. But here's like sort of the boundary of this tree. Here's a tree here, here's a tree here. And we note that they're getting closer as they get further away. To each other, at least. There's a boundary of 1. And now, you know, if I turn that off, we can say, okay, we kind of have an understanding of the composition. It's radial, it's coming out of like a 1-point perspective. Horizon line is just below center, so it feels kind of low. It feels like I'm short, which is what I am. I'm short. That's it. All of my things tend to try and have a low horizon line. Or a sort of high horizon line, sorry, contrary. Because it makes me feel short. And that's the goal, e.g. kind of small. But we don't have to stop there. Is this my version of it? Oh, this is me playing with filters. Hang on, we'll get to what that was about. So here's our sketch, taking notes for that. We can also take notes about things like color also. We can take notes and say, okay, here are all the prevalent colors in the image, where, you know, I will just grab a brush and say, okay, this yellow I want to make sure I have noted. This like darker tone in here I want to note. This dark tone I want to note. Whoops, I picked brown. This like darker red. These lighter pinks I want to note. This is a darker color. There's some of these greens here. Darker green here. This is a lighter green. Just as notes, because then we turn the image off and we just move this over. And we can try and replicate from here these colors. As opposed to, you know, if I'm trying to figure out what color this is, if we're just looking at the image, the whole image, all of the colors' relationships to each other can make it much harder to try and isolate what is what. This might have a pencil filter on it I put on it too. But we can make the job easier for ourselves. We can take our little samples and then try and recreate those on our own. Because since they are just against a white background, it's a little bit easier for us to isolate what that color really is. That's the next hack. And then my final hack for you, which is what these things are, is that say you aren't using this background for something like me, where the background is kind of a key feature of it happening. Maybe it's just the background of a drawing where the character takes up like 80% of the screen area. You are fully allowed to use filters in your program of choice to make it just seem like a photo is not a photo. As long as it's an image you're allowed to use. This I have a license to use, free pick, so I'm okay to use this for this purpose. So I could just go, all right, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Stick that behind my image. No one will know. No one will know. It makes it less photorealistic. No one will know. Second, you could also, in Clip Studio Paint at least, some of the effects that there are include artistic, which will kind of take it into like a kind of already a sort of painterly style. I tend to use some of like the color options where we limit the number of colors it has. We don't give it any color blur, because if you start giving it color blur, it then starts feeling like those AI generated images do, which isn't that weird. It feels like this algorithm that Clip Studio Paint and other things use is kind of similar to the way some of those other things work. So I keep that color blur off, but then I do let the colors blend. And then you could take this, which is a little more stylized, slap some line art on it maybe, and call it a day. That's a background maybe, for whatever your art is. They also have ones that are like pencil effects too. Where is it? There's like a pencil drawing one. This tends to desaturate it a little bit. So I tend to put like, did I do it in this one? If I do that, I'll tend to put like an overlay over top that puts the original colors on it. These are all just very quick ways of making a background. But say you do want to make your full drawing from scratch based on your reference. Now we'll do that. Now we will actually do that 2 hours in. Yes. Tree Alley must have just been a monotonous dash of colors been chiseled after that? What do you mean? I'll praise the Christation? What? You try and find Christian art studies, all like Jesus shrimp insanity? What? I have to see this for myself. What? Hang on. Christian, where are you looking that this is happening? Hang on, I need to witness this with my own eyes. Christian art. I'm just gonna Google those words and see. Oh no, I already see a lot of AI results in here that it's really sad. Where are you finding the ones that are not that? Because if I just search Christian art, just in Google, like, it seems fine mostly. Hang on, can you, like, make this my screen? Whoops, minimizes OBS. You don't know the Christ shrimp? No, why would I know the Christ shrimp? I am not familiar with the Christ shrimp. Oh, my arm is stuck again. Nothing is working on my side today. There we go. Like, some of these things are, like, vaguely stylistically questionable, maybe. Where are you looking that you find Christ shrimp? Christian art for study. I'm just gonna Google Jesus shrimp and maybe it'll come up. Facebook's AI generated shrimp Jesus. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, why did everything I have minimize? Hello? What's going on here? This is so strange. He's even got like a bullseye for his head. These are like scary. 1 second, in live. Okay, I'll look for in live suggestions. We have the exact same one. Oh, it's that one? Okay, that's scary. I'm gonna pass on that, actually. Almost each and every permutation of Jesus at the moment. I imagine so. Here's the thing. Drawing Jesus as a shrimp, funny. That'd be really funny if you did that yourself manually. But seeing it in like a slop version takes all the humor out of it for me, unfortunately. It's not funny to me. When it's done that way, it's just outrageous. It's so strange and not useful. Yeah, I don't doubt that they're full of slop. I saw a photo, my grandmom scrolled past a photo in, yeah, I think it was on Facebook, of a girl's head, like AI generated onto legs. My grandma was like, that's so strange. How can that be possible? She's not a torso. I'm like, Graham, it's not a real photo. Grandma, it's not a real photo. It's not real. That's why. It doesn't exist. You've won in live suggestions? Hang on. We'll take a look at the insanity briefly. Oh man. This is like at least a real painting, I think, right? I feel like this is a real painting. This isn't slop. Somebody's got their Arts by Max. They got their watermark on it. That's good. Oh my god. Insanity. People need the Canadian House Hippo commercial again. I don't know that one. All I know is the WKYK, which is the there's a hippo in the city, there's a hippo in the city. Hippo in the city, there's a hippo in the city, there's a hippo in the city, hippo in the city. Look at that hippo go. How does that one go? That's how it goes, I think, right? Quinjai and Madam Berry, thank you guys for following. It's an Etsy thing for the painted shrimp Christ. Oh, okay, I see. Nana sent me a cat AI. Firms had told me she thought they were stuffed. Moving in the completely changed their eyes? What? Huh? I don't know. Did you never have any house hippos growing up? No. What is a house hippo? I don't know what that means. That's a combo of words that I've never heard before today. At all. She's this Embrag Seahorse Mannerisms Tumblr post. Don't speak of the old horrors. I don't want to. That ad? What ad? What? I don't know what we're discussing anymore. I've lost it. We're digital painting, fellas. So here's our little preps we did to figure out our style choices. To get rid of those. We're gonna do our other warm-up, which I think I taught you guys before, which is get your hand warmed up. Make sure you're drawing things from the right part of your arm. We're gonna draw diagonals. We're gonna try and make them the same length, just to make sure that my arm is warmed up. Whee! Lines! There we go. Maybe even more lines. You can kind of see me hit my flow of my lines. They're more even. There you go. Lines. Draw a bunch of lines. Find what angle is comfortable for you. I can draw vertical lines like this comfortably. I can draw diagonals like this comfortably. I cannot draw comfortably horizontals. I feel like that is because it's digital. Doesn't help. But find what angle is comfortable for you and draw a bunch of lines to get your hand warmed up until you're drawing them in a way where you can draw them more or less the same height, more or less the same like length and distance apart from each other. Just make sure your hands got a little bit of warm up for it. Then we can draw circles too. Meep, wap, meep, wap, meep, wap, meep, wap, meep, whoop, wap, meep. Just make sure we're warmed up. I usually spend a minute or two doing this every day before streaming art. EG watches weird ad stream in the future. I could. I don't really like doing React content very much. If you guys want to see me do it, I can, but I feel like I don't have enough things to say about that kind of stuff for it to be interesting. I feel like I don't add enough to it, and it's not the kind of content that I tend to watch, so I don't really know much about it or how to make it interesting and not just feel like I'm kind of stealing somebody else's thing. I don't know. Let me know. Circles. I feel like those weren't good circles. I'll keep doing circles until I feel comfortable with my circles. Are you drawing circles with me, roommates? You should draw circles with me. Weep, wap, weep, wap, weep, wap, weep. Okay, I think I'm good. That's enough circles. There's a pun here about being out of line, but I'm tired. That's okay. Act accordingly, roommates. Act in line. Align yourself properly so that we can draw together. That's maybe the best we can ask for. Yes. Easy task for cursive writing expert. Oh, okay. I get it. It's easy for you. It's not easy for me. I gotta warm up every day. I gotta remember how to draw a circle every day of my life. You can draw other shapes too if you want to. Sometimes I'll draw triangles if I'm needing to draw in a more angular style. Just until I get a couple ones that are like nice and consistent. This is like a whole thing of sharks that are coming to eat you, roommates. Run in fear. I've created an ocean of terrors beyond your comprehension. Whee! Triangle. Bye-bye. Good thing my gran isn't on the internet. Future stream. EG reacts to AI slap. Our grandparents have sent us thinking it's real. Oh, man. Yeah, hugs for you, Hoshi. That's pretty bad. I could do that if enough of you have been sent things. That sounds evil, and I don't want to spend that much time looking at AI generated stuff on my stream, though. Like, I feel like that's not enough. Or not enough, that's too much. I don't want to look at them that long. Draw 10 million Among Us to create an army as practice. How do you draw an Among Us? It's like this. Right? Hang on. If I draw it in this direction, I can probably draw it faster. Yeah, new warm-up exercise. Draw 400 Among Us. Getting circle drawing practice. These are pretty good, actually. They need their little backpacks, I feel like. I feel like that's the missing thing. Right? That's the only other part of them that I don't have. Yeah, it needs backpack oval. Okay. So, how to draw an Among Us. There's Among Us. It's just, like, a bunch of ovals. I think Joby's getting home, and I want Joby to come home while I'm drawing these and see if this is what's happening. Whee! Whee! They're actually getting worse instead of better, though. I should propose this. You know, people do the tutorials where they're like, oh, yeah, here's the best way to draw eye highlights, or toes, or ducks, or feet, or something, and they sneak an Among Us into it, or like chibis or something, and Among Us is a step of it. I feel like I could do that as just like a how to do warm-ups. This guy. I'm like giving up on actually drawing them the way they look though. I feel like they've gotten worse. There we go. That's a good one. Hang on. Portioning isn't right on that one. There. Stream of EG hiding memes in their art. Stream of, what if we did like a search and find where you guys, you know how there's that application you can use where you guys can all click on your screen somewhere and it'll create these like clusters or whatever of where you've clicked and see if you can find a meme or something I've hidden in an image. We could do like a Where's Waldo kind of thing where you guys could all point at the screen and I can watch and see if you find it. While I just yap, I guess, yeah. You mean the Sinhala symbol? Oh my gosh, it does kind of look like a little Among Us. What is the Sinhala symbol? Is that like a text or a font? Is that a character in a language, I guess? Looks like it's like that? I didn't draw that proportionally at all. It looks like it's like this from a distance. That is interesting. Little Among Us. Get click maps going and let us click them? Yeah, like I feel like that's what it would be. There's a plugin for Twitch that does that, I think. And then I can see it. I think that would work. No, we're not hiding cult in the art. No. We'll hide like a shroomate or something. Or an Among Us. Or something wholesome and kind. Where's EG art needs to be made now? Yeah. Where's EG? Where am I hiding? Where am I? Please, EG. Okay, we can draw me in stripes. We can write that down for it. I still don't understand the whole hyperpigmentation thing. So I don't have thoughts on it. I never figured that one out. Where's Toad? What does Toad look like? He's got a round head and a body like that, and he wears overalls, and he's got like feet like this. That's Toad. There he is. He's right here. Perfect. Solved. Have you never seen the meme before? I've seen hyperpigmentation. I've seen the memes about it, but I don't get it. I don't understand the origin. I've only ever seen like goofy stuff. Have you ever tried to keep up with Bob Ross? We might try that at a later date using this program. This is a painting program. I don't know the program well enough to use it right now like that, but I might try it someday. Doing it, maybe. And it'll be full crisis probably. But not right now. Not the original video. There's an original video? Is that how this stuff works? I don't know how most stuff works these days. There's an original video. I have not seen it yet, no. But digital painting, the thing we were supposed to be doing here today. Digital painting. I did my warm up. I made spheres just to figure out style and get my warm up of how we're rendering shapes. And I did some prep work first because this is my slow step. I took that image that we had as a reference, this one, and because I am drawing something wider, this is not the right dimensions, I was figuring out how I want to expand it. So here's my redrawing of it, kind of. Got my cloud up here. I've got my, sight lines that we kind of figured out. I changed how wobbly the ground is because I felt like it was a little bit too much for me. And then I extended it on this side. I want the focal point of it to be right behind where my head is. Like if we're pretending Squiiji is here, if we're doing my chatting thing when we start stream, I tend to be here and you as chat tend to be right here. So I want the focal point to be coming into me. The trees are going to lead us to look at me, as if you could ever think about looking away from me in the first place. But now you can't. I'm forcing you to look at me through subliminal tactics. Someone put EG on the internet more. No, I'm good. I like living under my rock. It's pretty nice. It's pretty chill, pretty calm down here. Not a lot of chaos, not a lot of stress. My second layer of sketching, after I did my little bit of figuring out, you know, here's some flowers I want, here's where I want the trees. This was really loose, if you can't tell. Just so I'll generally know where I want to place stuff. Another tree. I went in over top of it to do a little bit of refining of where I want some of the foliage to be, and I feel like I could add a little bit more of like, okay, there was this bush in here we can keep, and maybe I make this bush taller in here, and I think there's a bush back here too. Just so that I have a little bit more guideline on shape, and like, you know, this one had this big hanging aspect to it. So that's how I know where I'll plop my flats in, because I do color from flats. So we've got our big shapes of where things are located, we've got our little shapes, and now it's time to start putting colors in. Earlier I told you my little hack, which is when I'm trying to figure out how to color something, I'm not gonna go like this and sample the color and then draw the color directly into my painting. You can do that. Let me tell you, it is one of those things where I'm not gonna fight you if you do it. It's fine. But in the intent of learning the color theory and learning to see color, that's not as helpful. It's more helpful for you to do something like taking a sample of a color in an area, plopping it down, and then hiding this so you can isolate the color. I could stick this over here and say, okay, this color was located over here in the tree. Let's see if I can match this color over here in my wheel of wonders. This nice maroon-ish color. It's like somewhere in here. It's a little more brown, and I think it might be a little less warm. Maybe a little darker and more saturated, like somewhere in here. Maybe that's correct. And then you could come in here and say, okay, I knew that this was in generally this area, and plop it in. Is it perfect? You could already tell no, it's not perfect. It's not exactly the color. But that's how you end up having your own little bit of like personal twist and translation of it going, where it's not gonna be perfect, but it'll be close enough that all the color theory should still work out. So, you know, you've got this green color that also, you know, is kind of down here in this region. See if I can color match that. It's on the warmer end of green, it's lighter, it's not super saturated. I might actually need to be a little warmer. I'm just dragging this around until I feel like I'm getting this color pretty close. A little lighter, actually, whoop, hello, can I use my program? It takes a while for me to do this when I'm trying to figure it out. I feel like that is pretty close. Nope, that's too dark, actually. Like this, maybe? No, it still feels too dark. Might be because I have a great background on, too. Might want to use a white background for this, so that it matches the background of what I was using already. Try again. Find a green. Like that, too dark. And then you can kind of proportionally get yourself more in the right direction by using that, yeah. Can I send a link to the original hyperpigmentation meme? That's I'm trying to make you watch it right now. If you send it in the Discord, I can probably take a look at it at some point. But yeah, not right now, probably. I'm very silly that people want me to see it. Okay, Patrick. What? Joby's job, I bet they know about Jesus Shrimp and North American House Hippo. Joby is here right now, and I could text Joby to see if they are familiar, if need be. I could. E.g., I'm not in the Discord. Oh, so can we flag a friend to post it in the Discord for us? Sorry, I forgot. we'll get someone. We'll flag a friend to post it in the Discord for me. Hi, Al Pacino. Thank you for the bit. There we go. Sorry, Hoshi, I forgot. But picking colors using this technique to try and get your colors as close to your reference as possible. What we are doing is we are limiting the amount of things that can be used to distract you. If I'm looking at this full image, do you see how many hundreds of different colors are all floating around out here? We're making it simple. We're simplifying the process by saying, okay, we're taking this color out of the context to make it easier to understand. It takes a while. It takes a hot moment. I went through, whoops. I did go through and do it myself already for all of the colors I wanted based on sort of the layout I had here. So this is how I start my paintings. They start as these funny little, almost looking like paint by numbers things, just so I can know generally where I want things. Let me turn this back on so I can go back to using it as a reference. Weep. I'll zoom it out. There we go. So this guy will live over here as my reference. Usually I'll use my second monitor, but right now I'm not going to. And now we're just gonna kind of connect the dots between things and just kind of get a general fill so that the whole canvas has something on it. Layers that on? Not that one. So here, I'm gonna bring this up here and we can start just painting in our colors to try and get a flat basis of where everything goes. So we know there's a color gradation that's gonna happen in here. I think that yellow is me reminding myself that the leaves get real yellow in that area. Oh, there we go. Okay, Selma took care of it. It's exactly what I do. Yeah! This is sort of like my color palette generation test almost. Just to make sure that all of the colors I have will work well together and that I'm thinking big picture and color. You want to think about color early. You don't want to jump in with like all these flats that don't really relate to what the actual image is going to look like at the end, because you'll kind of lose sight of where your color palette is supposed to be going. So right now, you know, I think that was a cloud I was drawing in there. Bring this down here. And I can start shaping in where these trees kind of exist too, where I can see that like, okay, these pink colors, this tree kind of comes up here. I'm not going to go for perfect accuracy by any means. I'm just trying to give myself an idea of where all these things live. I am not Bob Ross when I paint, I'll tell you that much. This color seems to be bigger and takes over most of the shape. Yeah. And then seeing me do this probably makes sense of why my other painting, the one that's in Rebelle over here, whoops, looks the way it does, is because I used pretty much the same technique for this one, but because my monitors are different colors, I don't know if you can tell the difference in color between these. My monitors are very different colors. I'd end up way warmer because I thought I was referencing way warmer colors. It got me a little goofed up accidentally. This color actually comes down in here a bit, it seems like. Let's color through here. I think most of it ends up being this color in this region. We're just playing paint by numbers, getting a general idea in. I learned that trees are cheese. They have a lot of holes to see the sky through. They do. We'll kind of cut them back out at some point to cut some of those little gaps in, because that is what makes trees feel airy and light and all those things. And we'll do some blending at some point too to try and kind of get more variation. We'll refine. Right now we're trying to get big shapes and get them kind of correct. And then we'll go for getting smaller details correct. So this is here. There's this sort of warmer color coming in here where the background is. I do need my gray background back though. I can't do this. I can't draw on a white background. It's so confusing. My brain does not like it because then I can't tell where the gaps are. There we go. Just get color everywhere. Step one, color everywhere. A lot of these tactics I'm talking about don't really work super well if you're trying to use like traditional, if you're trying to use them traditionally, or if you're trying to do a plein air type drawing. We're not doing that. We don't have to do things that way. Oh, this is a lot more orange on the underside. I should get rid of that. There we go. So here's my tree block on this side. Seems like there's this big white shape that kind of cuts in here. I need to make sure I get, and this is here, and then there's a little bit of it creeping in on the top. And yeah, this cloud kind of takes over that edge. This orange also is a lot more down here. It's kind of in there. And then this white is creeping through. Yeah, there we go. Kind of getting a little bit of a start of the idea. And then for the other side, zoom out. I don't have a reference for all of this over here, so we're gonna make it up based on what we're seeing from everything else. Actually, here, wait. Let me do the trees first over here. I think the trees, because the trees are really weirdly green, probably end up pulling some of these browns back into them. Just to have them. So this tree has 3 branches. Oops, I didn't really draw the branches where they're located. Branches. The background area is this like weird, like bluish color until we get to this bush. And I'm not worrying about accuracy of shape. We're just trying to get something in here. There we go. And then this back area is kind of like a lighter version of this. I might use this color. And you'll see that I'm not really going to pull any new colors from other than what I have fully here right now. I will hydrate. I will have some hot chocolate. I haven't drank much of it. There we go. True mates, I have a question. Do you guys have any weekend plans? I say in true teacher fashion. My weekend plans entirely just consist of working on Snow Miku, essentially. Exclamation point. Do you have exciting weekend plan? Jubby is going out of town. Jubby is going to visit a big city. To visit some friends, I believe. And I am not going. Sleeping. Okay, that's pretty good. I will also be doing some sleeping. I have not been sleeping super well lately. I'm going to be taking a real nice melatonin and getting some snork me me's also, probably. Good Snow Miku plan? Yeah, if Jubby wasn't going away this weekend, I don't think Snow Miku would get completed. I think it'd probably be not very likely for her. Odds would not be in her favor. There we go. Probably work as usual, at least hanging out in the workshop in peace. Workshop? What kind of workshop? What do you mean? Workling, sadly, they're right now working on the game show's PowerPoint for folks. Game show's PowerPoint? Oh, Selma's being an educator here, teaching people about game shows. I'm intrigued. Here's this. These kind of have a little bit of a darker center on them and bottom, but they are edge lit. Whoops. Plop that guy in. Question with Snow Miku, how do you do it? What do you mean? How do you do it as in process, or how do you enter? It's a pretty broad question. Much sewing to do. Fellas, I want a sewing machine so bad. I want a sewing machine so bad. I want a sewing machine so bad. Sewing machines, the modern ones, are so not good. They kind of suck because you can't really perform maintenance on them properly on your own because all the parts are so weird and proprietary and they're also electronic. I want like an old mechanical sewing machine. I have all this clothing that needs fixing that I'm incapable of fixing because I don't have a sewing machine. Going for Christmas? Actually, I'm so jealous of you. My family at home has a really nice one that I wish I could have one like. They've got a Singer from, man, it's from probably like, I don't know, the 80s? It's old. It's got that classic like yellowed plastic thing happening on it. But he puts in work. He worked really nicely. I made several cosplays when I worked at home on that guy. How do you become Snow Miku? You hope and you pray really hard until the Miku gods show their favor upon you, and then they allow you to complete your transformation into Snow Miku. That's how you do that. But if you want to enter the Snow Miku contest, go to Pia Pro's website. They have an official collaborations page, and it's the second one. They actually have 2 collaborations going on. They do more than just Snow Miku too, if you guys like doing character design types of things. Magical Mirai also they do a contest for, I believe. There's a couple of them. There we go. The yellow plastic. Yeah, I hear you can un-yellow plastic using, oh my gosh, wait. Hydrogen peroxide. You can use hydrogen peroxide supposedly to un-yellow the plastic, but I don't fully know how to do it. But the Miku gods just Sega. Sega! I remember that trend with, was it Miku? Where they were having her sing the Sega sound effect in like varyingly different voices. Wait, hang on. Look at this. When I zoom out from these, notice how they already kind of look like the same thing on that side. Notice how we're getting the idea. This is what I mean when we say take a step back. In digital art, we have it really easy. You just zoom out until it's almost a thumbnail. You can even have a second window of an image and have it super zoomed out. So I will sometimes do that where I can keep a full body somewhere. So that way I can always make sure I'm far enough away to make sure it's ending up like the original. Yeah, it's giving tree vibes. It's giving the vibe of tree, which is what I want. This is our first step. Our first step is just loose. Loose. Just get something in there. Just get something in there so it looks like something. Then we go in and we start refining. We refine more. We're getting big shapes right now. Technically, I'm kind of doing medium shapes. I'm kind of cheating, which I shouldn't do, but that's okay. Shh. This kind of has like a thing that kind of sticks out like that. We should get it. What is working out? Oh, and then this all in here. I need to fill this all in because that's really like stringy where that connection is. Woo, go over that. Heard that in isopropyl alcohol, I think. Oh, is it isopropyl actually? I don't remember. I so hope that I can inherit a sewing machine. I love that is like the kind of thing we wish for. I inherited a very nice KitchenAid stand mixer that is a really old one. The thing weighs like 60 pounds, but it is beautiful. It works fantastically. I have no complaints about it, and I love it. And I don't really use it that often because we don't really cook anything big enough to require it. Art is so about cheating. Art's not about, we're not cheating. What do you mean cheating? I'm not cheating. No, it's definitely hydrogen peroxide. I just think isopropyl is another option. Oh, okay. It could be. I have theories in my brain as to why that might be the case, as to why we're using alcohols of some sorts, or peroxides and things like that to take care of it. I don't quite know. Does Moobot get mad at subscribers for links, or is Peer Pro allowed? I thought I was gonna get held. Oh, wait! Good question, Hoshi. I'm amazed that it let you post that. I'm fully amazed that it let you post that. Moobot might have permitted Peer Pro because it's like a verified type of website. That's funny, though. I didn't think it was gonna do... I didn't realize it would permit that. That's interesting. I don't know why I've red right here. Oh, because there's a bunch of these that have, like, bigger red chunks. Moobot might be more forgiving to subs. I did find out that Moobot does have settings like that, but I'm not a huge fan that that's a thing. I'm not a, like, special privileges kind of person. Like, I'm glad it works properly and maybe a little bit more easily if it does for subs, because you guys are probably the ones that are trying to post stuff like that anyway. And I guess you guys are usually the more trustful ones anyway when it comes to that kind of stuff, but like, I don't know. Just a Peer Pro collection page. It might also just trust Peer Pro because it's a website with a valid security token, maybe? I made that way higher, I think, than it is. I think it comes down more like in here, and I need this red. That's not a color I selected. I don't know what that is. There. Red's kind of got this like blue inclusion in here. There we go. This is getting more correct, slowly. Twitch Peer Pro. Apparently they're friends. Don't quote me on that though, but apparently they seem to get along, at least in my chat. I'm not sure why. But I am still so jealous of people who have sewing machines because I have all these things I want to do. I want to make EG hair. I want to do actually a million different things that I want to do. Because I just want to be able to create stuff. I like creating things. I want the ability to make fabric. I want the ability to fix my clothing because I don't get rid of things. I want many abilities that I apparently cannot have because sewing machines are so expensive. Even to try and buy them used is also just so expensive these days. Rest well, count bugs. Oh, bye bugs, going to Eep. Enjoy your Eep. Work a job where I have to clean stuff. Alcohol doesn't whiten. Cleaning console and stuff we use 90% to clean. Evaporates quickly so it's safe. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting, I learned. Spare spaceman can show you how to use them? Use what? Huh? I love everyone saying goodnight. Want to make more ragdolls. I want to finish my EG crochet pattern, but I have not had time to do so because I crochet so slowly, especially when I'm trying to make notes of things. It takes me so long. Are all the trees the same color? Why do I have only one note for trees? They might all just be kind of the same color. More or less. Trees. I've left these weird gaps. I'll just go in a layer under them to fix it. This is another, because we're in digital, we can cheat situation. That color in there is really close to this color. Might just be this color with a little more yellow in it. So I might just do that. And then say, okay, there's like a really light green in here. Whoops, that's not green. Nope. Please, come on, selection. Grab that, and honestly, I can probably make these even lighter too. Let's put this far back. Whoops. Atmospheric perspective. Things that are further away from you tend to get lighter in color. Yay. Sobs and wanting an industrial sewing machine, but lives in a studio on the 4th floor. Whoa, aren't industrial ones like really heavy too? Are they like really super heavy? I know there's already a thing where like some buildings like don't permit you to have bathtubs because that you live like, I mean, I live somewhere that's like old city-ish, and I guess it just wouldn't be safe to have a bathtub here. We have a bathtub. We live on a 2nd floor. We're we're allowed to have a bathtub, I guess, because it's not dangerous for where we are. But I feel like maybe it is a weight requirement thing. No bathtubs? Yeah. Some apartment buildings in like old East Coast cities, like, let me think. Like, I'd imagine like Philly and like older New York, maybe like older like Baltimore, maybe too, perhaps. You can't have things like a bathtub or other heavy things because it could just fall through the floor because all that water weighs a lot. Hang on, I think there's a, is this the light one I just drew? There it is, okay. Wait. I think this is more this color for the most part. Heavy, comes with an attached table, takes up space and are noisy. Ooh, I wonder because this is like one of those crazy like printmaker things is that I don't have a press for obvious reasons. Printmaking presses follow a lot of that. They have a attached table, which is very heavy. They also are not noisy, but they're just absurdly unwieldy. I mean, you can hear them though when we're using them. They're unwieldy just because of their scale. Those things are like a couple thousand pounds. They're mounted into a table. And then to buy one, buying a printmaking press, they're expensive, but they're not like astronomical. I could buy a printmaking press for less than the price of like a good live 2D model, as crazy as that sounds. Which I'm sure does sound crazy. But the shipping for something like that ends up being so much of like equivalent to the price, it ends up being kind of ridiculous. Art looks awesome, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for following Killer Mbappe also, I appreciate it. My Nana has one of those? An industrial sewing machine or a printmaking press, Hoshi? If your Nana has a printmaking press, she's been elevated from her status as AI confused to being cool and should give me her press when eventually. Almost doubles the price to ship. Yes, because it's so heavy. They end up being so unbelievably expensive to ship. And it drives me nuts. There we go. Big yellow flower in the foreground. This is a pink flower here. There's some other pink flowers here and like right here. I think there's also another pink flower over here. Yeah, right at the edge. That's not the same pink though. It's like more like this. Maybe, yeah, this flower also has that pink. Post a pic of one of my antique sewing machines in the Discord. Here, I'll take a look in a second. I'm making good progress here on this, I feel like. It's going kinda quickly now. This all more or less feels like it's probably around this color. Remember some where those flowers are. I shouldn't worry about the flowers too much right now though, because they're kind of small details compared to everything else. This kind of dark thing does border this a good bit though. Dark colors, there's a lot of pink flowers along this bottom end. Yippee. Bullet bobbins? Huh? Total reliable piece of metal. Bullet bobbins. I don't know what those are. I don't know a lot of sewing terminology, unfortunately, because I haven't gotten to do very much sewing in any amount of recent years. This might need to be lighter. Yeah, this lighter color has to come. Over along this tree line a bit until we get to this tree, which is our last foreground tree. It's encapsulated. There we go. So I'm maybe that actually belongs to my mom and she barely uses it. E.g., have you messed around with animation? Yeah, I have. Have you seen? You've seen probably maybe a couple of my animations. My Shroomates that bounce, my pixel animations, those have animated. My usual stinger, I animated. My Shroomate that is for the promo for my winter outfit, I also animated. Why? I'm not an animator. I won't call myself one. I know how to do some animation, but I will not call myself especially good at it. Most of my understanding of animation comes from me texting Billy or calling Billy and going, hey, how do? My friends are my power. Oil. Why? What's up, Bear Welch? Sewing machines use bobbins for the string inside the machine. Old bobbins are in the shape of bullets. Modern's are little round things that fit inside. Oh, you mean the little like disc-shaped guys? They're kind of shaped like a disc, maybe? Question mark? Is that what those are? I feel like I have the right thing that I'm thinking of in mind now, right? Maybe? Called vibrating shuttles. Yes, bullet-shaped. Vibrating shuttles. That's hardcore. Oh yeah, pixel art animations are cute. Thanks. I am not like I don't do long form animation though. will claim that that's probably what I know the least about. I've never done anything longer than a couple of seconds, maybe? But I understand the principles of animation, and I can, like, make it sack throw. I can do all the animation exercises, like the balls, corners one, that I don't know what's called properly, fully. The balls, corner one, you know, the one where you, like, make it go, like, whooshoop, 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 and make it fold. It's like a timing practice. I know how to do that one. But I'm not much of an animator. I mostly am a 3D modeler. Actually, I do 19 different things, so that actually doesn't help answer any questions, maybe, unfortunately. Same amount, only the exercises? Yeah, I know the theories of animation. I understand how animation works in theory, but in practice, I have not done very much of it. Okay, wait. There needs to be more of this warmer green on the top of this for sure. I'm stepping back to do a little bit of touch-up. This green needs to come down in here for sure. I don't know what this yellow blob is because... Oh wait, no, it should be shaped like that. That's what the yellow blob is. This blob is also not shaped properly. Whoop. There we go, okay. This darker color kind of comes up here next to this a bit more. This darker color is in here also a bit more. Fixing my placements. Don't know, I'm French and just basing my knowledge on what I found on the interwebs. Oh, it might be a regional thing. Oh, it could be. I don't know. We always learn new regional ways of saying stuff here, I feel like. Oh, I have a question for you all. We've talked about this before with the fish crackers, because I call fish crackers, which is like the non-brand name for them. It's the name, it's like a generic name given to them. But, did you know that a lot of the things we call by names actually have other names? I've seen a bunch of TikToks of this recently, so if you already know the ones, don't spoil it if people don't know. But if you were to guess, the object that is bubbly, this one's one of the more obvious ones. The object that is bubbly and it's warm, and you sit in it and people put them on their porches. It's like a pool, but they heat it and have little like bubble jets in them. What do you call that? What do you call that? I've never in my life used what apparently the real name for these is, but they do have a brand name, and they do have a non-brand name version. This back in here behind here. What are they? Hot tub slash jacuzzi. Okay. What do we think the brand name is for those objects? Well, DriftG, thank you for following. What do we think the brand name for those objects is? Because those are two of the names we usually hear for them. So I just learned today which one of those things are. There's a bunch of other things that are like it too, where the thing you jump on, buy them for your kids, put them in the yard. I don't even remember what the actual name is for it. You can jump on them, they're in your yard, it's, they bounce, people put in their basements for exercise sometimes too. They're real tall, they use them as like enclosures, do you know the thing I'm talking about? Those ones also. Yeah, I see people saying trampoline, not a bouncy castle. So, for the hot water one, hot tub is what it's called, jacuzzi's the brand. But for the thing you bounce on, the trampoline as you guys are calling it, would you believe me if I told you that that's the brand? Trampoline is the brand, it's not called that. They're called like some sort of like, I don't even remember what they were called. They had a name for them, and I was like, that is ridiculous and strange. Whatever it was like truly perplexing to me what it was. Yeah. Somebody who is at the Liberty 2, if you Google it, you will find out that that is just a brand name. Strangely enough. Blue. It's very weird. And then similarly, you know the big objects, like if you live in an apartment complex or like you work somewhere that has one of them on your premises, because you produce a lot of garbage, the big things that you put garbage in, the really, really big ones. Think the giant, super big ones. Those things. What do you call those? What is the name of those objects? Pray tell. What do you call those ones? Rebound tumbler. Yeah. Is that what the trampoline's called? It's called a rebound tumbler? Yeah, no. That's so strange. Why is that even the name for it? But rebound tumbler, yes. The thing that we in many places refer to as a dumpster, as Hoshi is saying. Also, Mosscake said dumpster. Dumpster. Do you think dumpster is the real name of the object? Or do you think that dumpster is mayhaps maybe a branded object name that we just kind of universally have decided to use to call the object. What do you think? See, I see a variety right now. Probably not. I'll let you guess for a moment, and I'll see. Because this one was a shock to me because I think it's kind of perplexing to me. It is brand. The brand is called Dumpster. One of the brands is called Dumpster. There's many of them. One of the brands is called Dumpster, and then all of them forever have been called that afterwards. Isn't that so odd? That just kind of ends up happening to things, where they just kind of end up getting their name stolen and then used for everything. It just becomes like the colloquial, like, term that takes over. See, I need a little bit of this to come into the foreground across it. Yeah. Forever Dumpster. To be fair, it's a pretty descriptive name. Yeah, they're just called trash bins. In case you're wondering, they are just called trash bins. That is all they are, is apparently a trash bin. And yet, we've given them a more specific name. Yeah, like Hoover, Kleenex, or whatever, yeah. There was one more, I can't think of it now, too. Oh, hello? Oh, it's Mari! Hello! Welcome in, Raiders, hello! I'm Squiiji, freelance artist fungi, also an art educator. Right now we're doing digital painting, and I'm teaching, not really teaching, I was kind of giving some tips, but I'm just making my spring background using sort of my paint by numbers technique. But welcome in, showmates! Rotate at them if you so wish. Hi, Mari. What were you up to? Were you also mayhaps doing art, or are you playing a game, perhaps? Oh, thank you for getting the shout out there. Mari's right, this model's super cute. Oh, thanks! Oh my gosh, was Mari talking about my model? I'm honored. Thank you. Hannah Blossom, thank you for following. Lydia Evermore, also thank you for following. He possibly could be talking about me. Oh. But thank you. I did make my model myself. I am a 3D modeler. I'm also an art teacher. I taught digital painting for 2 years. It was fun. It was cool. I've made all of my backgrounds, and this is how I'm making a new background right now. Buka Craved and B Matari25. Also, thank you for following. Really cute model. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I grew it myself. Also, thank you for the ladder offerings. You guys are very kind. We were talking about how a lot of objects have names that are, like, the brand name has just become the whole thing that everyone calls it. Q-tips, Kleenex, also dumpster, jacuzzi, as we've later learned, trampoline. I call fish crackers fish crackers. You cannot convince me they're called goldfish crackers. That's bowing down to the corporate overlords. I'm not a capitalist. I will call them fish crackers. We were discussing a whole slew of those. But I hope you had a good stream. I'm always sniffing out an opportunity for art tax if you so wish. But I may have missed it if you'd said what you were up to. Goldfish? Yeah, goldfish. Who's throwing all that things? When people follow me, it throws objects at me. So, cloudy skies and date of birth, thank you guys also for following. You're a communist? I'm something. I might be more of socialist? I'm not sure. I don't have a full approved thing, but I'm not very capitalist, I'll tell you that much. Didn't do anything today, just playing games, but thank you. I mean, you're always welcome to share things if you've got other projects in the works. I know you've always got some project in the works, but playing Plants vs. Zombies? Were you defeating my brethren? Were you killing my fellow plant-like creatures? Are there mushrooms in that game? First-person shooter or the original? Good question. Plants vs. Zombies also did karaoke and a doodle. Wow, jam-packed stream. I should fit a lot of things into a stream. I have a lot of respect for people who can manage to have several topics happen all together in a stream. I spend so long on one thing. I spend an hour just yapping, but I guess today we technically did a mukbang and then also looked at stuff in the Discord and then came here. So maybe I need to give myself a little more credit for the fact that I do technically do a bunch of things in stream. Lots of wheel spins means lots of content. Yeah. You're something? I thought you were a VTuber? I'm many things. A VTuber is one of them, yes. What do you mean? No mushroom yet. Don't worry, I will defend your kingdom with bravery and honesty I am already defending the shroom state, which is my home. I will help you defend your home also, if need be. There we go. I am just pretending to know what is going to happen in the upper edge of this drawing also, because this is all make-believe and I'm making it up. There were mushrooms. Were they evil or were they good? Were they on our side? Who's on whose side? I'm on Mari's side in whatever this war is. I'll work with the pea shooters. I'll work diligently. I am not a zombie, although I may create zombies someday. I did take over Yam Allbat yesterday, slightly, partially, maybe, only a little bit. It's allowed, it's acceptable. We're on the mushroom side, let's go! Sorry, I lost tracking. Let's go. Yay! I'm happy you're on the mushroom side. It'd be crazy if you raided into here and we're like, oh no, actually we hated the mushrooms. We do not team up with the mushrooms around these parts. They are not one of us. Tommy, thank you for following too. But where were we? What was I doing? Mr. shot poison and gave sunlight. Sunlight? I mean, I guess that makes sense because mushrooms don't really, like, as a mushroom, sunlight isn't as important to me as moisture is usually. A little bit. It's not as important to me as getting moisture is, so I could see that making sense. I could see that being useful and beneficial. But the shrooms are all nocturnal and can't be used for a third of the game. But for the third of the game where they're useful, they're the only thing that is useful, right? Like, at nighttime, the sun's not shining, so all your regular fellas probably can't get the nutrients that you need. So they have a very essential role on the team, right? They have sun in the dark, like, how can they do that? Maybe they catch it and store it during the day because they don't need it, and then they give it at night. Or, you know, mushrooms are part of a mycelial network, often. That's what I'm a part of. You've heard of the social network. I'm part of the mycelial network. So then we can share nutrients with our trees. So like if I have like a nice little elm tree over here and I'm like, oh man, my guy, he's a little low on his nutrients. He needs a little more nutrient. Hey, shroomate number 32, who is over in the hemlock forest, can you donate me just a little bit of nitrogen, please? We're a little bit nitrogen deficient over here right now. Can I have just like a little bit maybe? They say yes and then give it to them. Talk about how fungi aren't plants, but are Plants vs. Zombies. No, that's also true. They are not plants. They are their own entire kingdom. But if you look back historically, there are a lot of cases of them being mistakenly placed in the fungi kingdom or like conflated. Where you'll get these like really good, funny, silly old books that say, oh, mushrooms and other non-flowering plants. Because I don't even know how recent of a decision it was to separate the fungi out. But I believe it was actually somewhat recent. Don't quote me on that. Because I have books from like the 60s that definitely boast that mushrooms are part of the plant kingdom. So I don't blame them knowing, not knowing better. Probably that sunlight is energy and mushrooms don't need sunlight for energy. I mean, they might just be using sunlight as a currency to represent energy, and they have expanded it further, so now it does include also them? Yeah, I don't know. Mushrooms are from the fungi kingdom because they work differently. Yes, they do. We have all kinds of weird things like fruiting bodies, and we live forever, and I am more or less closer related to humans than the vegetables are somehow, which is also kind of strange and uncanny, and I don't like it. There's a lot of cursed mushroom facts we had. For some reason, half of our cursed mushroom facts also came from Almontas when we were talking about epistemology, yes. Message for Shroomate732. Hey, is the group still in need of a sacrifice? No, group is not in need of a sacrifice, Selma. We don't do that around here. We are not in need of any of those. We will be okay without them. Oh, damn you too. Also, Epsilon, thank you guys for following. You want to terraform something? Send the fungi. Yes. Have you heard about how oyster mushrooms, there's a specific kind of oyster mushroom that's being used right now in trials because they've essentially taught it to eat petroleum. So therefore it could potentially be used to help clean up oil spills. Has anyone heard about that? I read a very brief study on it a couple years ago, I think. And it was very cool. Mushrooms can be used for good and also for evil, because my fear is that if you teach the mushrooms to eat the petroleum, what says they're gonna stop there? What if the mushrooms develop a taste for plasticky kinds of products, for oil-based products, and then say, all of your yummy little plastics that you have, microplastics that live in your brain. I want to eat those too. And then they take over your brain and your body, and then we have a crisis on our hands. I do like that they're being used for good right now, and I do like that they're being used to hopefully help with what could be crises. But it's like the things where it's like, all right, we experimented on this mouse and made it half woolly mammoth. Great, what do we do with that? What advancements does that cause other than creating man-made horrors beyond my comprehension? That mouse should not be half woolly mammoth. That doesn't work out. That doesn't make sense to me. It's evil. Let's Trooper, thank you for following also. Good thing I don't go outside. No. You definitely should go outside. You should go touch grass, specifically even this grass. You should go touch grass, because it's good for you. It has been found that we do need the vitamins that our body produces and associate with the sun in order to survive. That is a thing that we do definitely need. So please do me a favor and do that. Please. Did you read about the woolly mammoth mice? They're so fluffy. They are really fluffy. I didn't get a chance to read too in-depth into them because I only saw something about them today while I was doing my prep setup. So if you guys know more about them, you're welcome to let me know. But just in concept alone, they're very cursed to me. Like, I feel like it's concerning. To bring woolly mammoths back, but yes, could lead to good and bad things. My question is, why do we need to bring woolly mammoths back? They went extinct because of climate changes that were like the natural progression of the universe, essentially. Like, we came out of the Ice Age, and I believe didn't they go extinct because the food source and the climate, all those things changed to a point where it was inhospitable to them? Or did we hunt them to extinction? Is this a human thing? Did we do this? Is this our fault? Do some nice tusks? Also because of us. Oh, okay. If it's our fault, I could see it. I could see it if we also contributed to it. But at the same time, that feels incredibly cursed that we're doing that to mice, and I feel like we're gonna play with powers beyond our ability and create something evil that we should not. Maybe. Because of the Ice Age movie. Now I know they're not bringing them back because of the Ice Age movie. I promise that is not it. I know that could never be the case. At all, by any means. In any way, shape, or form. But it is interesting. We already have glow-in-the-dark cats. We have glow-in-the-dark fish, too! There was a fish store. I visited Lancaster once upon a time, and they have this store. It's called, like, something generic, like the fish store or something. It's got a very strange name. And in the fish store, they had these fish that were injected with some sort of protein that made them glow in the dark. They're not like bioluminescent. It made them glow in the dark. Yeah, glow in the dark humans. Why? Why does a human need to be glow in the dark? I feel like we're playing with powers outside our control that are just gonna lead to doom and suffering. Like, I don't know. I love me scientific development. But I fear the powers we're playing with. I fear that the powers we're playing with are actually going to cause us problems. Yeah, we want to play God, but we gotta be ready for the consequences of creating new creatures and what that might cause to us. And yeah, mice have been dealt one of the worst hands of all animal species, because for some reason we've decided they're the ones that we're gonna try everything on. It's because they're a good human analog for a lot of stuff, where in clinical trials of testing, they've got a similar, like, brain-blood barrier, among other things, I believe. I think is why they're used more often. Don't quote me on that. I might be misremembering things I read or learned when I took chem 8 years ago. Well, I'm vegetarian for a reason. I feel bad for the little creatures. They deserve a nice life, and I feel bad. I feel too bad to eat them. I don't know. But what if we can photosynthesize, then there's no need to eat? There's already people who claim they can photosynthesize. They do those, like, air diet things. Have you seen those people? They're missing maybe a couple marbles. Or, like, the air diets. I forget what they're called. I gotta ask Jubby, because there's a really funny one where a lady got put on trial for claiming to be one of the people who can eat air. And I don't think that works. I don't think that should ever be useful. I feel like if we get to that point, like, if you know, think about the repercussions. If we photosynthesize as people, if we start photosynthesizing someday, then we are no longer going to require farmers. I guess we could still eat for taste if we want to, but that's gonna ruin the livelihoods of so many people. Like, they're gonna lose their jobs and the things that they're able to do because we've sort of replaced the need for them, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where we gotta consider those kinds of repercussions of what does it do to the economy, to our infrastructure, if we change something like that. Yeah, it would like totally crash the food industry, probably entirely, if we started photosynthesizing. Like, that would not be good. I don't want to do that. Yeah, no. Has it stopped humanity before? Yeah, I guess that's fair. I don't know. I'm getting existential while I'm drawing, which I don't know if is good for me. While I'm trying to draw something. Right now I'm trying to we're gonna cut some grass into here. Whoops, I didn't set up my new color. How were able to do so from the start? I don't know. So long ago, data recorders and plants stopped filtering CO2. Yes, they did. It's not that they fully stopped, it's that usually that they become less efficient doing it because we're producing so much of it. We're like making them worse at their job, essentially, unfortunately. I believe that's what the study was saying, was that they're getting worse at photosynthesizing, or they aren't doing as much of it because we're just making it worse for them to do so. I can't fully remember if that's what it was, but I think that's it. Yeah, we're overworking them, essentially. I think the study was done on plants in the Amazon rainforest, was what it was. But we were kind of causing them problems with their life cycles and stuff like that. As a result, yeah, we're overworking them. Plants are going on strike, and I don't blame them. I think that's a valid way for them to attempt to have their, whatchamacallit, their needs met. I think we should meet their needs. I think we should stop destroying them, A. B, I think that we should be kind to them because the plants were here long before us, and they will probably be here long after us, too. The kudzu vine, in particular, will destroy everything we know and love if we let it, so show a little respect to him. And do join your local flora and fauna labor union. Also, Cloudy KY and Little Shy Latte, thank you for following. My brain was trying to turn your name into Chanterelle for some reason. I got excited. I was like, oh, mushroom type name. It wasn't. I do like chai lattes, though. Meh. Grass. You'll notice I'm not trying to be completely accurate to how this drawing is, because it's no fun. It's no fun. If I am going to take a reference and try and copy it one-to-one, it sucks all the joy out of it for me. It's much more fun if I'm gonna be like, well, I can see that there's definitely 2 pieces of grass over here that go like this, but I'm giving them a third friend. I don't care. I can do whatever I want. I'm in charge now. We'll mess up this line where they're kind of gradating into each other, so it's a little bit more grassy in the transition. I need a different brush that tapers a little better, though, because this isn't tapering very nicely. Maybe the discovery of fire would be later. Maybe humans wouldn't do as much once they have no need to innovate. They need sitting outside to stay full. On about photosynthesis. Oh man, we're still doing photosynthesis. Sure, mates. Would you give up the ability to eat food for photosynthesis? I feel like that would remove so much joy from my life if I couldn't eat. Like, I like eating. I feel like we'd end up in one of those, like, sad futures where people can't eat things, and therefore, as a result, like, don't care. It's joyful. Never. 100%. Okay, so we've got both. Kudzu has edible parts that could be exploited. Nobody wants to eat it, though. We should be trying to eat it. We should eat it. We need to eat it. It's taking over, like, horribly. It's so invasive in the United States. We just, like, unleash cows on it sometimes. It's so unbelievably taking over. It's bad. Can you not eat or just don't need to eat? I feel like the problem, like, if you were to eat on top of photosynthesizing, you'd be doing the thing where you're producing too much energy, so you'd end up putting on a lot of weight, probably, right? You're taking in more energy than you can use, therefore your body's going to store it. So I guess you could do that, but I feel like the way our culture works, we're so fearful of weight in, like, every way, shape, and form, that I feel like people would then just opt not to eat, and then, once again, still kill the entire farm and food industry. But people like it enough that maybe some would still eat. I wonder if it become a thing that, like, only the rich can afford or something. The repercussions are scary to me. I like snacks too much. I would not give it up. I don't know. Wouldn't give it up. Live for food. Food is life. Just need to water yourself. Plants eat too. Plants eat, but not really in the same sense. Like, I guess they're still drawing nutrients up in the water they take in. I don't know. Yeah, the talk is spiraling out of control, but that is how I tend to work. Look at this nice little corner I've started to render. So here's what we've done. We did all of our big shapes, pretty much. All those little flowers, I'm not worrying about them till much later. We've done all of our big shapes, so now I'm kind of gonna lock in and try and make smaller shapes. Figure out how everything actually should go and interact. All of this, you'll see, once I have these kind of committed to the shape I want them, whoops, I will use this thing called selecting the color gamut. Whoops, I gotta reduce that, that's too high. I'll select the color gamut of something and say, okay, this is like, I want it to be like 8. Sure, reset, and then select like this color. And I'll say, okay, these definitely all get a little bit darker at the bottom. So then I'll take like a darker color and airbrush it in the bottom parts of this. And that adds a little more depth. So this is how I end up painting and adding depth and doing all of those funny things. So I'm just saying that because that's what I'm going to be doing probably here. You're gonna watch me do it. I've explained myself. Now I can lock back into talking about the repercussions of our actions as a human race. There's like a capsule that was super cheap, had all your nutrients, fills your hunger, and no taste. It wouldn't sell that much, I think. No, 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 no. I think it would sell fantastically, unfortunately, for the sole reason that diet culture is so prevalent in the United States. I think it would sell really well and that all of the diet culture proponents would be a part of it. Because like we were saying before, we briefly mentioned that one diet lady who, essentially her diet was eating air, as strange as that is. I think that those kinds of people who are really, really, really intent on that like super hyper unhealthy level of thinness would eat that up and make the people who develop something like that abysmally rich. I think that would be what would happen if something like that existed. Humans can't even survive on a fruit-only diet. That's true. I'm vegetarian. I need my protein, so I have to find alternate methods of getting my protein. I gotta pay attention to my shapes. Did I draw these objects too close together? Oh wait, no. These objects are actually more over here. Some of this comes across it too. Claimed not to eat, even had a test done where the doctor said they couldn't continue on with the test. She claimed not to eat, but I think they found food in her house or something. Ended up being part of it. I think they ended up finding food in her house where they were like, well, why do you have food in your house if you're not eating? Like, why would you do that if if that is the case? I don't know. I don't really want to draw grass right now, though. I feel like I'd rather refine these shapes. Maybe I'll make clouds right now. Grass ends up being really tedious for me, and I don't enjoy it, so I'm just gonna do clouds. And that's the beauty of painting, is that I can say, I'm not doing that right now. I actually want to do clouds. Whee! Let me cut some little shapes in my clouds here. Hard time eating, often low on nutrients despite my best efforts. I'll take a nutrient pill. Hey, wordy! They make nutrient pills. They're called vitamins. That thing you wish existed does kind of exist already. Do be careful about daily values with vitamins though. Most of it ends up being water soluble and it will just go right through you to some degree, but you can end up accidentally taking way too much of certain vitamins, much to the detriment of your health, so be careful. Make sure you're not getting more than your daily recommended amount if you are taking supplements and stuff like that. Okay, do it for me, please. Please take care of yourselves. But as a vegetarian, I do take a daily multivitamin because I try my best to make sure that the things that I eat, I'm getting enough of all of my food groups. But I don't always do a good job at that. I'm not always very good at that. The other thing I might do here is I might actually cut my drawing apart. Hang on, bear with me. I might actually cut my background out and put it behind everything so I can use layers to do a little bit of more editing. That's the other reason why I do my kind of paint by numbers tactic, is so that I can do this and just rip my drawing apart if I need to. It's very easy to cut and paste things, because then I can say, all right, well, let me fill everything behind here in with these colors. You can see like the bones of my drawing. That way also, when I inevitably, potentially, eventually animate it, it gets much easier to animate. Because like the sky just needs to kind of be a smooth gradient. I don't really need to fuss with it too much. And it will be easier with the trees if I can just cut them out. So I'll just fill everything in back here. First of all, I hate that there's not an English word to call people from the United States of America. Second of all, why are so many mad lads in your country? I wish I could tell you. Most of, not even, I don't know if most of, I think half of my shroommates are European. I think an equivalent half is East Coast of the United States, but I can't answer that question. I, for some reason, think we have just gone in strange directions as a country, unfortunately. This doesn't seem like it cut out the way I wanted. Hang on. What? Wait, hang on. hang on, did I not cut the right things? Hang on. This. Hang on, I gotta focus for a second. I think I did something wrong. What did I do? This and this. Edit, cut. Yeah, edit. Paste. There we go. Hide this. And then repaint this in. There we go, okay. I think I accidentally picked the wrong layer. I mean, Americans or US Americans? Yeah, I guess if you say Americans, it could be the entire US not US continent, the entire Americas. There is the North America and the South America, but I do think people usually say that specifically to describe the US of A. History of grifting. Could be that. We've done many strange things. Our history also comes from throwing things in bodies of water, so I think that also doesn't help. I'll wait for my doc to tell me when and which vitamins to take. That's fair also. You don't have to take vitamins just because I told you to. If you're not deficient in things, you usually don't need to worry about them in the first place. I just take them because I'm vegetarian, and because I know I'm deficient in certain things, because I don't keep track of what I'm eating all that well sometimes. Goldfish is not a nutritional food group, as it turns out, which may come as a surprise to all of us, but believe me when I say it, you do need to eat things other than fish crackers, sadly. Heartbreakingly, even. Don't really see when someone refer to all people from the Americas. I mean, I guess they could just refer to maybe our hemisphere, because this is the, Western Hemisphere? If they want all the people in the Americas, but I don't know. Most people don't need vitamins, actually. Yeah, no, most people don't need vitamins. I think I did also hear that recently. I don't know if any of you watch Anne Reardon, but I was only thinking about vitamins because she recently was disproving the need to take a lot of vitamins for most people. I take vitamins because I have anemia and because I'm vegetarian and I know that I don't always get all of the things I need to get. So I know that I am doing it because I'm filling a gap there, but people overtake vitamins. You will just pee most of them out if you don't need them. But at the same time, why even spend your money on them in the first place? It's kind of a waste if you don't need them. But if you are deficient, maybe do. Gasp more than snacks? Yeah, sorry. I guess I am the lady. I do survive on more than just snacks. Eventually, somehow. Woo, come on, background. I'm trying to stream and do this at the same time. My blur brush is not having it. Can you see this? Woo, 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 woo. My blur brush is not liking this at all, actually. Fat slave ones you could be worried about. Yeah, people get, what is it, B12, problems? What is happening right now? Why does it seem like there's something on top of or behind? Is there a hole in this right now? Hello? What's going on? I think some weird things occur here as I'm trying to blur these colors out. You're from the USA. In Spanish, we call you estadounidenses, or in my country, Spain, Yankees. Oh, a Yankee here just refers to specifically people from the Northeast. The song, if we're thinking of the song, put a feather in his cap and called him Yankee Doodle, and that's because people who were poor were trying to get in on trend. Call somebody like, you know, doodle, something is fancy, all those things. If you put a dandy. People are calling themselves a dandy, and all they did was put a feather in their cap? That's crazy. They're such a Yankee. That's what that word means to us, at least. Yeah. That blurring is choice, doesn't feel natural. Well, it doesn't feel natural yet. We're gonna get there. I gotta add more color depth in here still. This is just a basis. When I say, okay, we're gonna say, like, okay, this needs a little bit more warmth in it. Then I could add... a little bit of like a warmer tone in here coming through. We can also add a little bit of this lighter tone coming up here. Right now it's just all smoothly translating in a way that is not going to feel natural. But that's also not my goal. I don't aim to make the most naturalistic of digital paintings either. I'm doing this for fun for the most part. A little bit of this blue in here. This cloud I haven't dealt with yet, but I don't want it to go away, so I'm gonna fill it back in on top. We just need some suggestion of a background right now. We're not that fine-tuned yet. Because I'm gonna put all my stuff back on top of it. It's fine. It is kind of local colory right now. This image is very local colory, but that's fine. It's fine. Really like having your pee brightly colored. Certain vitamins may be right for you. Be careful not to overdo it. That's fair. Eat your asparagus. You'll find out how that goes. American landmass is a lot of nations. Only one of them is America in its name. Thus, those are Americans to me. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't quite know what. We're just the United States that happen to be located in an America. We're just states that are supposedly united. I don't know how united we actually are. I feel like we're like 400 little tiny countries disguised as one at some rate. Maybe. We're doing our best. We don't all agree. USAlin. USAN. You could just call us like the Eagle people or something, and that'd probably be fine also. Because like every country is just states that are united. Okay, I'm sure they are, but we're the only ones who felt it was important enough to put in our name. I guess. I don't know. I don't know why we're like this, I can't tell you. We're legally bound together via federal government, called the federal government, because it's a federation of state governments. That's true, yes. Somehow we've ended up in like not history class, geography? Question mark, maybe? New term for United States citizens, USAN. What are you saying? I'm saying a lot of things. The Yankos of America refers to America, Yank in the South refers to the North, Yank in the North refers to the Northeast, Yank in the Northeast refers to Boston. That's true, we do use it to refer to Boston also. I don't know what I'm saying. I was trying to make clouds, but now I don't remember what I wanted to do with them. This does feel really local colory because of the color choices in this image. And I may have to do something about that at some point. But right now, I think I'm gonna try and translate this cloud into it being a little more wispy. Where like the cloud has kind of these little guys that kind of shoot out from it. Just gonna soften my edges a little bit here, maybe. Get the white so that it's not as intense. This color also should be more like maybe like this color. Cloud is partially obscuring it. I need a regular airbrush. Where's my regular airbrush? There we go. Hard and soft edges. No. Huh? Sorry, Egypt was a pun? What? What? Huh? South Canadians? What are you guys talking about? Need to repeat this for the third time. There's already a turn. It's USA American. USA American? Oh, I've never heard that one before. I've never heard that being a term for us, but you know, that does make sense. I don't really hear people refer to the collective of us in like that kind of manner very often. This isn't located correctly at all, is what I've done. This needs to be like more like this. And then it needs to blend more into it. There we go. That's what I wanted. Whoop. And then we'll airbrush the white back in. I'm not going for accuracy. I don't know if we've noticed this. USAN is better. USA American. You can refer to yourself as anything you want. We can be whatever we wish to be. Oh wait, this needs, I might put that real far back. I'll cut this out as that little part of that cloud. There we go. A little inset here or something maybe, and then this kind of comes in a little deeper. We'll branch it out, and this also doesn't come out this far. It's more like that. There we go. I'll deal with that later and make it go away. That's not blending. Hang on, can I get my blur please? There we go. Most of me painting is just like, all right, that wasn't right. Blur it. Goodbye. Burger folks. We can also be burger folks. Yeah, you're right. We don't also refer to ourselves very often, I guess. We refer to ourselves more so in terms of state, I feel like. Like, people who are from, like, you got your New Yorkers, your Bostonians. Is that what people from Boston call themselves? What do you call yourself if you're from Boston? Do you call yourself a Bostonian? Oh, American is also definitely just referring to us also. I would agree with that. American. How did we get here? Hang on, question. We were talking about Plants vs. Zombies, and then we were talking about affronts to humanity, and now somehow we're in what we call Americans? It's Bruce Baby, thank you for following. Isn't Boston in New York? No, false. Sure, mates. Do you want to take a states and capitals quiz? My fault. You're good. If you're not from the U.S., I don't expect you to know that. I once told somebody, once upon a time, I lived in the Maryland, or I spent some time in the Maryland. And I went to London, and I was like, yeah, we're from Baltimore. For some reason, we said we were from Baltimore. That was just a city that was kind of nearby. For some reason, I thought people would know where that is. They were like, oh, that's the one state that is like this. I'm like, no, that's not a state. They were like, what is it then? Like, that is a whole town, I guess. It's a city. No one knows where anything is. Least of all us, actually. Have you ever seen Americans try and draw our map? Bad. Horrible. A front to humanity calling USA and South Canadians. You know, with the way things have been going lately, I probably wouldn't care if you did that. I'd probably be like, alright, that's fine. Whatever. Things are weird enough as is right now. That's fine. I'll just accept it. That's okay. Wait, that's not the color I want right there. Whoop. Soften that edge up. Soften this edge up. I like South Canadians. I kind of like it right now. That is, the city of Boston is another state. Oh, it's in another state. It's in Massachusetts. Do you guys want to guess what places some places are from? Where, if you were to hear... Oh, we were talking about this one before. There's a city called Intersex. Where do you think that is? Because that's not in London, despite the fact that London also has a place called Middlesex in it for some reason. Can you tell me why that is? People who are from England? No, I mean, is Intersex also in England? It's also in a place here. So that's where anything is in the middle between the mountain two ranges. Oh, is the Midwest just a total mystery to you? Because honestly, probably same for most Americans. I know what's in there because I had to learn geography when I was in high school. Also in middle school, actually. I had to learn it. Isn't it in South Dakota? Maybe it's in multiple places. New England? We talked about it here briefly. Because there's a place called that's in, I almost said Philadelphia. It's in Pennsylvania. Because Pennsylvania has, I believe Middlesex also. Oh wait, no, it's Intercourse they have. There's a lot of weird ones. This is a PG stream also, in case you're wondering. We're talking about town names. We're allowed to say these words for that purpose. Let's see. This is much bigger than it needs to be. Let me make it smaller. There we go. That's better. Like pre-First King of Rulers England? It's the Saxons. If it has that sort of name, I think it's likely because of them. Oh? Is that like one of those like naming convention kinds of things? I know that there's a lot of stuff that has names that are like vaguely, or like German relation. Like we've got the Vills, you have like Jacksonville, Florida. If Ville is a suffix that is from a location. Yeah, the Bergs, yes, the Bergs, that's German, yes. E.g. bringing up naughty GeoGuessr locations unprompted. I was offered a very short sponsorship with GeoGuessr, but I didn't have the time to actually do it. But I was going to. I was actually genuinely thinking about it because I thought it'd be funny. I actually have pretty decent geography skills. My geography skills are actually pretty decent, which may come as a surprise to some of you. I actually am not bad at geography. This is mostly the wrong color. I can do it. Love GeoGuessr. Maybe if they ever run one in the future, I can see about doing it. It was just bad timing. It was the week of Christmas they were doing it, and I wasn't going to be live during it at all, unfortunately. Ryu Spirit, thank you for following. Are you a mushroom nymph? I don't know if I'm a nymph. I am just a mushroom. I am Caprinus comatus, the shaggy inky cap, and I'm somehow not related to any other inky caps in any way, shape, or form, unfortunately, which is really strange and scary to me. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how it's possible that I'm not related to the others of my kind. It's almost like a misnomer. I'm more closely related to Amanita muscari, I believe, than I am to other inky cap mushrooms, and I don't know why that's allowed. That should not be permitted. There we go, okay. That cloud is feeling interesting. This sky feels really unrealistic, and I think it's because the colors I chose are really unrealistic, but if you look at most of my backgrounds, like, my current snow background is, like, pinks and greens for trees and stuff. I don't really care about making something feel super realistic. This thing here I might also just smear around a little bit. Where's my smear? That's liquefy. Where's my smear? I know I have a finger smear. Where is it? Hello? No. Where is it? Hello? My smear. Is it in Liquify? No. Darn it. I have a finger smear somewhere. Is it in my blur? Maybe it's in my blur. What? Yeah, fingertip. Yes, that's what I wanted. I wanted fingertip because then I can go like this and kind of push. Is what I want. There we go. Let me push and pull things a little bit because this is like not really the right shape right now. There we go. Fluffier cloud. Don't want that right there anymore. Go away. I feel like this isn't fluffy enough either. There we go. My cloud also has so much movement because I'm too cartoony. There. Yeah. There we go. Very wispy for my cloud. Huh? Also, Cluedo had a game show? I don't know that one. High altitude clouds? Yeah. I'm looking at this cloud they have there and they've got it treated in a very fluffy manner. I just kind of want to mess it up a little bit. And then I might change the shape of it a little more. But this is kind of what I wanted. Is like, just make him wispier. A little bit. There we go. Make these like thinner. There we go. Whoop! Nope, that's too long. Might be screwing up. Somehow I ended up with the color pink in there. I don't know how that happened. Get that blue out of there. That's too much. It's too strong. This feels really, like it's swirling. But I feel like that's kind of cool because from a distance, it reads as a cloud. Sunset? It is kind of a little bit sunsetty. I usually draw more specific times of day than this is. This is like very midday, but I kind of associate that with the spring. Right now I'm just screwing around. So much of me drawing is just being like, all right, just do it. What's the worst that can happen? Delete your art. There we go, cloud. And like, I think there's like a little inclusion that comes in here. Need to make this wispier. It's kind of too strong right now on the edge. There we go. Gonna make it a little darker, maybe. I'm gonna just draw over it. There we go. There we go. Now I can re-fingertip it. There. Transition it a little better. There. That's fine. That's a wispy cloud. I can live with that. I painted grass before dirt. That's not always a good solution. I will say I've kind of put myself in that situation, but I kind of do that a lot where I'll paint my foreground and then push it further away. This counts as mushrooms in the sky. You know, maybe a little bit. You know, we don't really like mushroom clouds here for the connotation of them bringing destruction. Speaking of Americans, we're pretty good for destruction, unfortunately. I don't like that. I don't condone the use of mushroom clouds, but I get that they are kind of similar to me in nature. I'll push these around a little bit. Make you a little wispier, maybe. I'm just trying to get vibes of clouds right now. I'll open a better reference than this is at some point. But I just need these to feel like I've drawn a cloud for me for now. There we go. Type that in there, little wisps. That's pretty good, actually. That's sufficient to me for a cloud for now. Look how rendered this cloud is compared to everything else. Look how detailed that is. Nothing else has even remotely the same level of detail. Let's start chunking this out to be the correct flowers. So like the flowers, if I zoom in, whoop, are much smaller. I made these really big. Whoops, that's not an eraser either. Should become smaller. Counts as, sorry, saw a pun but felt bad. That's okay. You're good, you're good. We like puns here. We do like puns here. I saw, do you know how people do those, Joby always shows me them on TikTok. The, like, your month, your XYZ whatever thing. And I always get kind of sad about them because a lot of the stuff that people use as imagery in them is, as we were unfortunately talking about earlier, in relation to other things, shmai generated, unfortunately. But like, I feel like some of them are really cute, and when they're like actually ones that are made using art, I generally tend to quite like them. but I was thinking about maybe in classic EG fashion, if I had the time to do so, I could make one that's like a your month, your mushroom. Or like there's even those accounts that do like, you know, where they'll be like, fish of the day, and then it's just like a fan cam edit to like a CapCut template of like some sort of fish related actions. You know what I'm talking about? I kind of love those things. Yes, please. I have so many things I want to do if only I had the time to do them. Because I currently don't. Let's see. Yeah, these are kind of foregroundy. That kind of works from a distance. They don't need to be too much more detailed than this. The secret to digital painting half the time is just figuring out how much detail you can get away with something before it becomes too much, before you don't need it anymore. Highly specific t-shirts that are like, I was born in month, I ride a bike, I work in finance, don't mess with me. Oh, those are a different whole thing, but I also tend to really like those. I think they're really funny. I also like have you seen the posts where it's like, good night to everyone except people who were born in the third full moon of the year, people who like the game, I don't know, Cookie Run Kingdom, or people who, and it's just like, it's into like broader and broader terms. Those kinds of things. I saw like a guide on one where it's like you'd give something that's like really, really specific, something slightly less specific, and then something that's not at all specific. Those. I think those are very funny. Chunk this out. People who ate pizza today? Yeah. That game? No, I've lost it. Amber, did you just make every single one of us lose the game today? How could you? Not the game. No. I did not eat pizza today, so I'm not one of those people. I ate baked beans and also tofu and also very yummy mac and cheese, courtesy of Factor. Thank you again, Factor. Oh wait, I don't have that thing in here either. Why is it not turned on in any of my sources properly? Me? You read it out loud? Amber, you said it in the chat where we can all read it. Don't shift the blame. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were up to. Oh, I'm missing 2 of my overlays, actually. What is happening here? Hang on. I need this one. Yep. Nope, not that one, actually. That's actually the wrong one. Hang on. Get rid of that. That's actually the wrong overlay. Yep. What I need is, this one. To be fair, one is also supposed to announce when they lose it. I guess, and I guess by doing that you do make other people lose it too, which is I guess how the game is supposed to be played. But you didn't have to do that to all of us. You didn't have to make all of us lose it also. There we go. That is supposed to be right here. And then also, my notepad is supposed to be in here. Where's my notepad? There it is. Oh, wow, it's really big. Why did I never scale this properly and properly put it in this scene? There we go. Got it. It's not like we only have a half an hour of stream left and I'm just noticing this. Woo. Number 1, if you're wearing a white shirt. Number 2, if your profile picture isn't an alien. Well, I am wearing a white shirt, but my profile picture is not an alien, so I don't know where I fall in that. Therefore, as a result, there we go. Oh, but that covers that. Put it here. You don't need to see my color palette that I don't use. Such a concerning layout of my screen right now so that we can see everything. I feel like it's so hard being a VTuber trying to arrange your screen properly. Notepad jump scare? Sorry. Reminder. There's things you can do. There's things you can look at. I have a notepad that has things on it. That's a reminder. Playing The Sims? Oh man, I have never played The Sims before. Good luck. I'm sorry your loading screen is perpetual and forever though. Define alien. I thought it was a word for not one of us. I thought of alien as being guy from outer space, but I guess technically if we're talking about alien as being someone who is not like you, I guess I do qualify on those terms. Hang on, I gotta like lock in and figure out how I want to do these shapes. Something like that. That'll come back out like this. There, okay. And then this comes down here. There we go, okay. We're gonna make all these shapes way more specific, and then it's gonna feel way more detailed just as a result of that. Yippee! You must know there is an inquisition and you'll be hunted down. Oh, for what? What are you guys doing? Sacrificing ourselves in EG's hair? What? Huh? I look away for a second to draw, and you guys are up to something else. Which is not helpful. US airport. Yeah, we're not gonna go based on the US's terms of what that means, because we're kind of, I say we, I am not included in the evil, but there is an evil among them, I guess Among Us, where alien is used as a very unkind way. But we don't really permit that here. No sacrifices. No, you did not join a cult. That's not a thing. We don't do that here at all. Among Us. No. Inquisition will be vigilant and will take care of all of you. Don't worry. Okay. This is my general cherry blossom shape. I'm kind of ignoring how they have it somewhat. I'm using it as a rough guideline. Because from a distance, see how that feels like a tree over there in the corner? I don't have to do it exactly the way they did. It is in this reference. It'll still feel like a tree. And you're never really going to see it any bigger on this screen than like probably like this. So I just needed to make sense from that distance. Yeah. Roughly 10-minute conversation, not a second? I don't know what you guys are doing. I like that we've summoned all of you out saying Among Us now also. I've lost track of what all the showmates are doing now. I don't know how people manage to draw and get anything done, because maybe it's just because I'm not good at multitasking. I have so much respect for people who can draw and get a lot done. I feel like last night having Yam to talk to made it a lot easier for me to do that. Because, like, you know, some of the talking is being done by somebody else. But it is just, like, I feel like it's not in my skill set to be good at talking and doing things at the same time. There's a lot of YouTubers who make their, like whole part of their thing be that they can draw and talk and do things at the same time. It's, like, not a skill of mine. I can't even talk and eat at the same time. It's too much. I am not a multitasker. I'll figure it out someday, maybe. What is that shape there? What was I going for here? What is this? Why didn't I color that? Many questions for past EG. Drawing and reading chat sounds like a lot to juggle, to be fair. That is true. Drawing and reading chat and talking at the same time are a decent bit to juggle. If I get myself onto a topic where I can kind of sustain, it tends to work a little bit better, but at the same time, if I go more than like 3 seconds without being like, what are the showmates saying about this? What are their thoughts about this? I start being like, This needs to be taller. Wait, zoom out. Big picture. How tall are these things in association with each other? This is still the big front tree, but I feel like it's too tall. I feel like it should slope. And then this should be shorter. I'm gonna move everything around here. Shorter, taller. I'm actually gonna ignore how they have it and make that kind of be taller. There, this is kind of working. But they promised me war and sacrifice and hunting me down. I already kidnapped their pets and it's a ward save? What? No, none of that. No. Whatever they're trying to get you to do, don't listen to them. They have the people who claim to be in a cult have no power here, actually. That's not the way things work in the Shroom State. You will be investigated thoroughly by the Inquisition. They'll kidnap pets, only accepts babies? What? Heart loading screens? I'm a liar. I don't know if anyone especially likes loading screens. I don't know why I have this movie. Why did this make sense? What was I doing? What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. Worship art, though. Okay, you can say art is nice. You're allowed to say that, but you don't have to organize and arrange yourselves around art, if that makes any sense to you. Right? Cult is organized. And you don't need to do that. Right? Maybe? Question mark? Please? Please? I beg? Please? Pretty please? Pretty please? You wouldn't say no to me while I'm asking you pretty please. This tree is not the right shape at all. Hang on. I screwed up in my big shapes and started trying to refine things while things weren't right. There you go. This should be more like this, and then this should be up over here where it's doing its shape thing. I've made it way too big. There, that's more right. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Procedurally. Giving the pets at least mine, so my cat seems to like the stream. Oh, okay, well that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad to have cat approval. I don't know if your cat should be getting into mushrooms. Can cats eat mushrooms? Like the kinds of mushrooms we can eat, I'm asking. Not like the random ones in the yard that no one should probably be eating. Don't eat mushrooms unless you know what they are. But do cats eat mushrooms? Like, can they digest the same kinds of, like, mushrooms and things that we can? I feel like logically they might think so, but they don't like it. That would make sense. I feel like cats should not like human foods, like, innately, maybe? But you kind of never know what a cat will like or not. I don't like it. My cat, I know a lot of people have animals that like human food and people food and table food. My cats never did. We had 4 cats growing up. They never cared about human food. Jubby's family dog, Rosie, love her, the little dachshund she is. Man, does that dog love people food. That girlie, she eats better than most people do. She gets like steak and like all kinds of like good stuff. She gets eggs, everything. You name it, she's probably getting to eat it. My cats, you can offer my cats, I don't even know what we had that we offered them. We offered them something weird. Or no, it wasn't even that weird. It was some sort of meat thing that I wasn't gonna eat. And they would not eat it. We offered them a piece of cheese that drops on the floor. No, not into it. Don't care. Don't care, didn't ask, is essentially a reaction my cats give. And I don't know how or when they developed that kind of taste. My cats don't like it, but that does make it easier at least. Only one of them, our kitty who passed away a couple years ago, he would eat cheese if you offered it to him. But like, that was it. Long Boy, silly one cat we have, will eat only exclusively string cheese, and he will follow me around the house for an opportunity to eat the string cheese. And then he'll also eat veggie straws, and that's like it. I don't know why. I know somebody was talking about, oh wait, no, this is a family member of mine. My aunt, her dog likes bread so much that they have to store their bread in the microwave. I believe it was her that was telling me that. They have to keep their bread in the microwave because if they don't, the dog will just eat the whole thing, and they had to take the dog to the vet for like an emergency vet thing to get its stomach pumped because it ate a chocolate, like a bread that had a bunch of chocolate in it or something? I feel like this is the right one. Was it my aunt who told me that? Now I'm second guessing myself. This sounds like something that might not have been her. Bread box? Yeah, she should get a bread box. They just haven't done it yet. The dog that they have right now is one they're looking after for my dad's cousin. And it's because the dog is not very well behaved, unfortunately. She's kind of crazy. A surprising amount of chocolate to hurt a dog. She ate a bread that contained like a whole at least chocolate bar. Like there was a lot of chocolate in it, unfortunately. I did not pay attention to how these shapes are made. I made them a little too loose. And this has to come like this and then be cut out like all the way down in here. And there's some shapes in there. And then it has like an upward edge. And these almost come out to the same point. I feel like this one's sticking out a little too far. There we go. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. Keep bread in the oven because the cat ate bread once. Did she develop a taste from it just from eating that once? That also sounds dangerous. I feel like if I were to keep something in my oven, I would forget that it's in the oven and then accidentally turn my oven on and like melt the plastic or whatever. Like, I have trust issues with that stuff. My old roommates, when I was in undergrad, put like a bag or something on top of my microwave and melted the plastic to it, and I feel like that's exactly what I would do if I kept bread in my oven. Like, I feel like that wouldn't be a safe decision. Whoops, I shouldn't be selecting that. This should be just chunking it out here. They would love your place, take good care of them. One cat is barely a cat, though, so keep him inside. He's more of a sentient marshmallow. Or are you donating your animals to Epsilon? You've confirmed that you're okay with giving them to them? Cat will eat anything, including chocolate, if keep everything up. Why are some cats like that? Like, I had a cat in undergrad who wanted to eat plastic and cardboard. Like, if you dropped, like, a little bit of plastic off of something that you had, she would be right there ready to snatch it up and eat it. Like, immediately. She wanted whatever it was that you had. Unfortunately. But like, what makes them like that? Because my animals never were like that. Is it like they get used to it as a young kid? Do cats experience the thing called, what is it, pica? Can cats get that? Because maybe that would be why? I don't know. Like, I don't know why she wanted to eat plastic. It's not like a real thing to eat. Cat's violent, wants to crush an entire loaf of bread. Animals and bread don't go together. Destruction of bread out of violence, I feel like, is a little bit different. Because we're talking about destruction of things. My one beloved kitty, love him. My old man of a cat, Stripey Wipey. He's the one I posted the most pictures of in the Discord server. He used to be, when he was younger, a little bit of a menace sometimes because and it wasn't his fault. I love him. Stripey Wipey is a beautiful, lovely cat. And he would unfortunately do this thing where he would come into my room and come sleep with me when I was working. And I'd be doing, like, you know, AP art for high school, because that was the last time I lived at home, was when I was in high school. You know, I'm working on my AP art, and my beloved, lovely Stripey Wipey comes in. I go take a shower, come back, and my entire watercolor painting that is due, like, the next morning is, like, fully melted to it, like, into itself. Like, fully just eviscerated, destroyed, gone. No saving it. It is donezo. It is over. It has never been more over than it ever was before. And I'm like, what happened? What went wrong? How, like, what? I took a shower. Like, I wasn't gone for that long. How did this happen? Like, it's like all wet. And then eventually, I find my cat. He's a dark colored cat, but he's got a couple white patches. He's just like hanging out in the living room and his legs are like green. The cat loves baths. The cat loves getting wet. The cat loves water. The cat sticks his paws in his water bowl and splishes around it. He splish splashes in the tub. He has a good time, just like Ernie and Bert say. Not even Ernie and Bert. I think it's just Ernie. Splish splash. I was having a bath. Man, my cat was having a bath, and he did go and I guess sleep on my watercolor painting. I love him so dearly and so much, but he is, in a way, he has not been forgiven for that action. He's not been forgiven for that transgression quite yet. This looks crazy right now. This is definitely the trust the process part of this, where I'm like, oh my god. Trust the process. This looks wild. This upper corner here, it's crazy. It'll get there. It'll get there eventually. We're not there yet. Right now, we're just getting edges of things. Still pretty. Thank you. It'll eventually be art. It's already art, but it's, oh boy, we're getting there. We're getting there. There's a part of me that wishes I almost took this as my basis, because there was a lot of nice, like, detail in this from the way that it was shaped and rendered that I feel like my hard brush isn't getting, but what can you do? Reminds me of my late cat getting into the spaghetti and scaring the crap out of me when I came in and saw him covered in red. Oh, no! I have a similar one of my same beloved cat, Stripey Wipey, love him. Stripey Wipey, not exactly similar though, it just reminds me of it, is that, Stripey Wipey, we see him walking around the house, and he has this long thing hanging out of his butt. It's white. And all of us who have been through these kinds of things before sigh collectively, because we're like, oh my god, it's kind of worms again somehow. Because I will say, my cats, as much as I am not a fan of it, they came from the outside. They were outdoor cats that came in. Yeah, they're outdoor cats. That's not my intention for them. I wish they weren't, because it stresses me the hell out. But they are outside cats. And as a result of being outside cats, sometimes they would catch things and get worms. That cat particularly would never hunt, but if the other cats caught something, he would eat it. So that cat would often, Stripey Wipey, have worms, unfortunately. Much to my displeasure. I was like, oh, I can't believe we're doing this again, because I'm the one who has to give him the medicine, because he won't take it from anyone else. I have to sit him down and pry his little mouth open and go, I'm so sorry, my little man, and give him his medicine, because he'll actually take it and not spit it out if I give it to him. But, you know, me, because it's my responsibility, I have to be the one that scoops the poop, that cleans out the litter box, because even though they're outdoor cats, they do use the bathroom inside sometimes, and my cat, for all intents and purposes, was an old man and is an old man, so he doesn't always want to go outside. Scoop the litter box. It is just a spaghetti noodle that he didn't digest. It is just a full pasta noodle. It's just pasta. It's not even like a fully reliquefied piece of pasta. It's like a partially unliquefied piece of pasta. Stripey did not have worms. Stripey just ate spaghetti. And we don't really know why or how he did that, but it was just pasta. He was fine. We took him to the vet, and they were like, this is just an angel hair pasta noodle. Did waste $150 on the vet visit, but we were very happy to find out that Stripey Wipey was a-okay. But what a disaster. I love that cat, but oh man, he's gotten himself into some nonsense. I'm gonna fill this in and then cut it out so that way I can just use the background that's behind it, because I think that's what this is all supposed to be back here, is the background back in here. Yeah, it was good. He was fine. Old cat used to climb on top of the wardrobe at night and look at me like Batman. Oh, but that's kind of cute, right? I feel like that's kind of cute. I like when cats like have their little rituals, and I like it when they keep an eye on you. Cause like we had weird steps in our basement, kind of, where you could like see through the side of them. You could climb down through them out into the basement. And when I go home to visit my family, one of the cats will sit at the top where you can only just see, because there's like this little tiny sliver of space where you can see the top step, and he'll just sit there flat to the ground and he'll watch you. He'll just keep an eye on you. And like that basement makes creepy noises and some scary noises, so it does make me feel better knowing that I have a cat watching my back. As funny as that may sound, but it's good to have him there. Hi, Hikomori. Hello. Eating bad corpses? What? No, don't eat corpses. Oh, don't eat corpses, period. My cat should not have been eating those, no. At least he wasn't hunting, because that would be worse. These are too big, unfortunately. What else is going on in this scene? But yeah, don't eat strange things you find outside. The one cat who is mostly the hunter is our cat who has she's got an immune disorder, which pretty much exclusively only resulted in her losing her teeth. She's totally fine and unbothered otherwise, she just doesn't have any teeth. Her body rejected all of her teeth, unfortunately. But, lest you doubt her capabilities, she will find any and every way to remind you that she is, in every way, still the ferocious hunter that she would have been had she had all of her teeth. Gojira, love her. Her name is technically named after Godzilla, but more specifically named after the French death metal, which is the work of my father. Fungi father. Who, once again, is probably one of the funniest people alive. Sometimes, at least he thinks he is. But, she hunts constantly, much to our displeasure, unfortunately. We wish she didn't. But she has to remind you that she is a very capable cat and will hunt and bring things in the house. And you know she's caught something because she makes a very specific meow. She's the only one of our cats that really talks. And she goes, meow wow, meow wow. Like exactly like that. When she has brought you something, she has to let you know that she brought you a gift. She brought you a present. She'll go, meow wow, meow wow, until you come investigate whatever she's done. Which usually results in, oh, I take a little trip out to the kitchen. It's like 2 in the morning. And she is out there, can't find what she's done. My sister's out there with me, and we're like, oh, all right, Gojira, what'd you do? What creature is there this time? What is there right now? Gojira, what did you do? What's going on? Hello? We look around, and eventually we hear like a, that's not a good noise. I almost did an but that sounds too much like Roddy Rich the Box. It didn't sound like Ribbit, but it sounded like, you know the noise frogs make, where they make that kind of like mourning groan noise they do at you? You were like, oh no, where is it? There's a frog in the house. There's definitely a frog in the house. Where is the frog? He's in my house. He should not be in my house right now. That's not good for him. So we did go on a wild goose chase to try and find a frog in our house. We did find him, and we did find, this was back when she hadn't lost all of her teeth yet. She'd only lost a couple of them. We called her the vampire. This toad had 2 perfect little puncture wounds, unfortunately, from Gojira puncturing her little teeth into him. She got him pretty good. But he was definitely fine. He didn't like bleed or have any damage or anything like that. But boy, was she an interesting cat for doing that. Didn't like that. They also release like chipmunks and stuff in the house sometimes, and there was a very fun morning before school one time where my mom was trying to chase I think it was a squirrel or something around the house, and trying to catch it. You know how you catch bugs in like a glass or something? She was trying to catch this squirrel in an oversized, like, you know, like the comedy wine glasses? She was trying to catch it in one of those, and eventually we did do that. We did catch him. I don't even think he came in because one of the cats brought him in, though. I think the squirrel came in the house because we have a cat door. And I think he just wanted a snack, unfortunately. And that wasn't in his best efforts. This tree is not the right color, I think. I fear this tree is not the right color. bush more properly positioned. A little bit of this on this side probably to... My cat still needs the wrappers on pads. Oh no, you mean like the sanitary product pads? That's not good. That's certified not yummy. Probably should not do that. This all needs to be a different color because this is still the cherry blossoms, but not the underside. Just need one more game show. Does it, what location do you need your game shows to be from? I will say, I didn't watch a lot of game shows growing up, so I don't think I can help you, unfortunately. The sanitary pads? No! Why? Why are they so specific and strange in the things that they want to eat? I, like, don't understand it. There, okay, that difference is that from the background. There should be a little bit of, like, a drop under here where it's white. We're getting there, alright. You guys can see how digital painting works, essentially. It's a long road. It's a long road. And also, no, I don't do a lot of sketching. I did a little bit of a where things go. I don't tend to fully flesh things out in a sketch. Takes a long time. Got it? Yeah. Aye, Captain. I'm gonna drink the rest of my hot chocolate. And now, when you see me debut new backgrounds, like my snow background or my regular background, you can see how many hours it takes me to do it. I spent 2 hours, I think, today drawing this. At least so far. You can see how unfinished it looks compared to how my usual backgrounds look. Like if I turn, where is it? Nope. If I turn this off, see all those trees? I drew every single tree. If I do it in my normal background, which I don't know where it is. Nope, not this one. Give me my regular one. This one. Yeah, it took me a really long time. Although you can see, I did the foreground for this one pretty much the exact same way. This is so much less complicated. Why did I pick such a more complicated background? I really did myself in. I really could have picked something that wasn't as complicated, and that would have been probably much to my benefit. Calder Gun, thank you for following. I'm gonna drink my hot chalky. We can look at my drawing still, though. I don't know why my transitions don't work right now. Maybe it's because my coder isn't happy. But look, I didn't move. It didn't there we go. Finally teleported me. Nothing wanted to work with me for a second. I don't remember the reference. We'll look at my whack in progress art. Still needs a lot of work and blurring and all the rendering for all the individual objects. We'll get there. But not today. I'll do it behind the scenes and you'll see it next when it's probably done. I love my cat and my dog likes to hug his pillow and rest after eating, which is cute. Aw, I love when puppies do the thing where they like tuck their paws under their chin and they just kind of rest their head on it. And then like they sleep in like a really teeny tiny bed, even though they have a bigger bed option. Jubby's parents have 2 visiting dogs right now who are much bigger than the tiny little dachshund, and the dachshund sleeps in their big bed and then they sleep in her tiny little bed. I think it's so sad. It's very funny, but I feel those 2 dogs, they don't really care, but it is so funny to me. Makes me a little sad. I'm like, you guys deserve big bed. You deserve all the space. Ow! Hey, what is that about? Bob, what are you throwing stuff at me for? That's not nice. Hey. When is due date for Rubric-chan? Due date is next Friday. It doesn't say it on my little thing here. Due date is next Friday. We're gonna go over them on stream next Friday. We'll take a look-see at all of them. And then going on from that point, after all the Rubric-chans have been looked at, every time we look at the rubric, I'll try and splice in a different Rubric-chan so that way they can like reappear over time. If you don't make the deadline, don't worry, you can always still submit in the future. But if you want them to be shown on stream on next Friday, then that is the way to do it. I'm just gonna finish my hot chalky. But it is just about 6 p.m. here. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I had fun here today. I'm glad I got to do a little digital painting because what this was incentivizing myself to actually start drawing this. I don't like background drawing that much. I feel like that's like such a common digital artist thing to hear. Usually my paintings, let me see if I can actually find them for you. I can show you maybe some of my digital paintings I do for, I did for class demos. Whoop. I gotta put it up here because it might not be where I think it is and it might be in a folder that has something on it you can't see. Let's see, do I have it in here? No. Here, maybe? Hard drive, let's see. I'll see if I can find them. Animation splits, nope. Is it in here? Our files, photos. Transfer, is it in here? That's a shadow. No. Oh, I've got my old Snowmiku research from a year ago. That's funny. That's not it. I wonder if I just have them saved here. I might also just have it saved on here. Wow. File searching. Nope, not save photos. What folder would I have that in? Is it here, maybe? Nope, not there. Darn it, I thought I'd be able to find them. Usually the stuff I end up painting for class, we do a lot of still life work, so that's most of what I'm comfortable with. Not the most interesting thing around. Nope, not BFA. Is it in my MFA folder, maybe? That might be a weird place for me to put it. Or is it my teaching folder? Oh wait, it might be in here. Oh yeah, hang on, wait. Oh, I can't show you that one. Hang on. No, none of these are the one I wanted. I have one that is a drawing of like, it's a nice still life that I was looking for, but it's not in that folder, and the only one I have in there is self-portraits, and I can't show you self-portraits for obvious reasons, probably. You can probably guess the reasons why I can't show you a self-portrait. About the sleeping dogs, my 1-year-old nephew was sleeping with the dog and the cat in the big dog bed. It took us 20 minutes to find them. Oh, he was hiding from you. He was hiding. Oh, that's cute. No. Love that they're hanging. What is this? Is this student work? Yeah, this is, oh yeah, this is a student sphere practice. I don't even have it labeled with whose that is. Darn it, I thought I had a still life I drew for my most recent one. I can't find it. I probably won't be able to. Unfortunately. Nope, not in there. Darn it, I thought I could show you it because it's much more refined of this process that I use, which is my sort of paint by numbers process. This isn't how I made my snow background though, but darn, we'll figure it out. Balls, orbs, but yeah, look, texture, rendering. I think they actually used the, they used, because I gave them all the brushes I use, I think they used the oil brush for it. They're so green. This is a good example of just doing a little test for their rendering of their environment. Yeah. But, you know, I can't find it. I'll figure it out. If I find it later, I'll show you guys. I'll search for it more thoroughly. But thank you guys for hanging out while I did a little bit of drawing and talking about cursed nonsense topics with me. Thank you for hanging out. Next week, Monday, we're looking at VTuber designs, critiques. I don't know what the topic is yet, but there's probably a topic for them. I don't know what it is yet. I usually don't know until Monday when I make my schedule. That'll be Monday. Thursday, Guilty Gear, character design, reviews. Friday, what do I have next Friday? I actually have nothing currently planned for next Friday. I haven't decided yet. We might do prop building next Friday so that we can have more redeems, maybe. So next week might be a fun week, maybe. Come join me. But for now, I might say, shroom you later. Thank you guys for hanging out. Bye, YouTube. I can't send you anywhere, but bye, YouTube. Thank you for hanging out.